What is up, everyone? Spidey here, and as always, I hope you're having a marvelous day. I know that I am because I'm with my friend Manu, the one and only 9.9 Newsstand. So back off, CGC. We know what you're doing over there, but there's only one 9.9. What's up, my friend? How are you?
My friend, I'm really well, and that is super kind of you. And I got to tell you, it feels so good to be here with you. It feels so good to be doing this episode today. The energy is fantastic.
I love it. Welcome to the Marvel Show. Man, we did that like we have been doing it every week for 2 years.
That's right. I knew we were going to pick up right where we left off. We didn't skip a beat.
We didn't skip a beat. What was our last episode?
Oh, gosh. It wasn't a farewell episode or anything like
No,
that.
gosh, no.
But I don't remember exactly what it was. You have it pulled up? You have it in queue? Do you know?
It was too long. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
trying.
no.
I think we did one like at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we hang out with each other here and there, but it's been a while though. All right, let me go ahead and full screen this
Yeah.
thing.
Speaking of hanging out, let's say hello to a few friends who are here with us.
Yes.
We got the Car Collector Show says, "What's up? How's it going,
What's
man?"
going on? Hello, hello.
Our friend Benjamino Brady or Brady. I like to say it both ways. He says, "How are
Ben
we
Brady,
doing?"
hello. Wait, what's his pronunciation? Is it
Well,
Brady?
Benjamino
Okay.
Brady. But I
Brady.
think he understands where a lot of his fans are from the US. And so
Yeah.
he just says, call him Ben Brady.
I'm gonna say Brody. If it's Brody, Ben Brody, hello. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here with us. Oh, he was in the chat a while ago. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Derpa's with us. What up?
Well, seeing Derpa there. How you doing, my friend? We got JDM, like old times. Yeah.
Yes, the
Absolutely.
good old days. We're bringing it back. We're bringing back the positivity. That's what we're doing.
Russ is here. Raj
Russ,
is here.
hello. Raj, what up, my man?
Our good friend Jason says it's so good to see you guys together.
It's so good to hear from you. It was so nice to see your post earlier today. Congratulations. You guys made magic happen, the two of you, and what a beautiful story to go along with it.
It really is. Jason kind of came into my life during the Fight for Norway event, and just while I'm bringing her up, she's doing well. So continue prayers for her. Very thankful for that. And man, what a blessing having him in my life. And we connect daily, like throughout the day daily. And it's just been a beautiful friendship. And as you could tell, that meant a lot to him. For those who may be wondering, he acquired the Mysterio Dan DeSantos Marvel Masterpiece painting. And I have to say, it looks good on his wall.
Yeah, and I got to say, Jason seems like a really great guy. And I knew that already, but I just didn't want to miss an opportunity to say that.
Yeah, and it's not just social media, great guy. Like,
No.
I've got to know him, his family, and, just is what you see is the truth.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mr. Jayhawk is here. Hello.
What's up? What's up?
Andrew CC, man.
Yo, my man, what's going on? And congratulations to Andrew on the self-published zine. He and Dave put out a book. Well, I mean, it's a zine. They call them zines. They're the cool kids. They call them zines. And he and Dave put together a zine with the many faces of Kirby.
Okay, so I saw Dave unboxing the many faces of Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had an Andrew vibe to it. I could,
he sees Andrew all over that.
He sees things differently, right?
Yeah.
We go like, wow, that was there the whole time. How did we miss it? But Andrew, he sees it every time. But I had no idea it was self-published. And what is a zine like?
You're gonna have to ask Andrew. Andrew's gonna have to let us know. I think that's like I don't know. I'd be a poser to try to say it. It's like an independent magazine of comic strips and art. I think anything they might want to do. I'm not sure.
So you just remove the MAGA and you just have the zine.
Maybe that's just their way of saying magazine. I have no clue. Actually, no, yeah, but something like that. But congrats.
All right, amazing. Andrew, send me a copy and then we'll go live together and you can tell the whole world about it. Or the Marvel world, anyways. Billy, what's up, Bill? How's it going tonight, man? He says fresh fade on Manu.
Oh, well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
How does he see through your hat?
I don't know. I did a little self-taper yesterday. Before I went out, I did a self-taper. So
are you one of those millennials who saves money on cutting your own hair, but then will buy like a $80, t-shirt?
No. I mean, I will go as long as I possibly can without a haircut. And the in-between grooming, I will take it upon myself to do that because
but are you thinking about saving money? while you're doing it. Is that
No,
the
it's not about saving money.
okay?
It's about saving time. That's all it is. Like, going to get the haircut is
Yeah.
hours and hours, right?
I have some good friends that let their wives cut their hair, and they make plenty of money.
Yeah,
And I'm like, "Ugh, it's
yeah.
not worth the $35 that you're saving." Like, go. It doesn't look
That's
good. Go
not
get a
how
haircut.
much we pay for haircuts here around these parts. So,
Well, if I had your hair, I might pay 100. But
oh, stop. Okay. Well,
Soul's here. How's it going?
So, what up, my man? How are you? Did we
Jason.
miss Chuck H? Chuck H. Good to
I
see
had him on
you.
the
Hello.
screen, but I guess I
Okay.
did miss him. I'm sorry,
No, it's
Chuck.
all good. We're here. We're here.
Oh, and I missed Mike too. What's up,
Oh,
Mike?
hey, hello, hello. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Mike Sinatra in the building.
Sandy Dare, how's it going? Good to see you.
Hello.
DO6, Ghost.
Yo, Armando, what up?
Yeah, Lonzo's here.
Where he at? What's up? What's up?
Hey, man. Well, he's in the tip of Florida, I think, somewhere near there.
Somewhere
Black
over there.
Goo,
My
Ryan.
man.
We'll go through a few more here. Jose's here.
Hey, Jose, what's
Wait
going
a minute.
on?
Wait a minute. 9.9 everywhere this month.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a few friends here and there, and I'm glad that you caught some of those episodes, my man. Thank you. That's awesome.
I actually, in my, show prep today, I asked ChatGPT, I was like, what are some of the, YouTube headlines in the, on the videos for the last few months? And I thought your name would pop up, honestly.
And it didn't. Not even the 9.9. 9.9 is all the
It
rage right
didn't.
now.
I'm
Everyone's
telling
talking
you.
about them.
I know it brought up Go Collect, something about Go Collect, and then
Yeah,
comic
we
book
could talk about that.
community awards, which I didn't know that was a thing.
I
DBAs or
hadn't heard
something.
anything about that.
Yeah, sure
I didn't
did.
know anything about that. Go Collect, coincidentally, they put out they made an update to their offerings, and now they have a price index, right? So
That's what it was talking about.
yeah, you could also make your own index from the way that it was explained to me prior to the launch of it. And I haven't played with it yet. I still have to play with it, but it was expressed that you could make your own index. So I think it's
Mhm.
kind of cool. You pick your favorite 4 or 5 Spawn books, and it's like,
Yeah,
here's the
like I
real
have
Spawn
like
index.
I have a stock app. I just pick stocks that I like to watch if I want to pop on real quick and see what they're
hmm
doing. So it's
hmm
kind of like that is what it was saying.
Yeah, Doom, what up? What's going
Doom's
on, my
here. I
man?
have a question for you. Who has a better YouTube voice, Doom or Alonzo?
I'm not going to vote on this one. Listen, we're going to leave this to the chat. I'm not getting in between the voices.
But those two guys have voices.
They do. They do. You don't forget those voices.
No, you don't.
No. No. Hey, it occurred to me the other day, but I wasn't on a screen to say anything.
Uh-huh.
But Doom Card is also DC. Now that is going to come up in discussion tonight. But isn't that quite a coincidence?
That is a much better acronym than the one I have.
Oh gosh. Doom, get in here. Let's have a debate.
Oh, dude, I would love to have Doom on the channel.
Of course, of course, of course.
Donnie Boy
Swish, what's going on?
Oh, I just to finish the awards thing. The first person that brought up was Swaggle Hoss. I don't remember the rest of them, but
Oh, okay. Oh, Donnie Boy McCoy is answering for us. Oh, he's also saying hello, hello. But he
yep.
said, I think it covers all the zines, like fanzine and magazine. And that could be possibly true. I don't think Andrew has chimed in with any clarity yet. But oh no, he said you got it. So that's great. Fantastic.
No. Who's the you though? You got it or I got it because I said you take the MAGA out of magazine.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I thought of the you as a we, and I took whatever parts you said right, whatever parts I said right. I said, we got it. I don't know.
We'll share credits. It's good.
Yeah.
Mark says, good to see you. Leto, my good friend. What's up, Layton? How
Yo.
are you? Swish is here. What's up, man?
Swish with the energy. Love it.
Yeah, there's where he says you got it. Billy says, don't take the bait. I think he was talking about your hair.
Oh,
because I was millennial shaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not shaming myself, right?
At this point. Yeah, I don't even know what a millennial is. I pick the weirdest places to save money and then the most absurd places to splurge. It hardly makes any sense. It just has to feel right in the moment, I suppose.
Yeah. Chuck says, I'm jumping ahead here. He says, I told you I was going to send you something, but my 3-year-old grandson loves Spider-Man, so I have to hold it back out and save it for him when he grows up. That is a much better use of whatever Spidey hit you got, my friend.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Andrew Parkman says, platinum or Flair? Do you have an opinion?
Flair. Yeah, my Flair.
Yeah. And I will say that Flair doesn't hold a candle to platinum.
So does that mean platinum's better than Flair?
Correct.
In your opinion? Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Oh, you
And
really
it's not
love the
that
platinum set.
yeah, it's not that I haven't enjoyed some elements of Flair. I have. But I think the overall experience for me has been better with platinum.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't experienced outside of a few platinum cards that friends have sent me. I believe Armando sent me something out of platinum. RMS sent me something out of platinum, and they're gorgeous. But I have yet to, physically participate with any of the Flair product. I think I'm just going to end up buying a box. I quite like it. It'd be a fun rip, I think. For hopefully
Well,
they're still around.
they give us a couple of
250.
Bagley stuff that I really like. We get a Bagley Spider-Man, which I think is really nice, and we get a great Venom.
Yeah, the
That
Flareon Venom or the Todd Knock Venom?
No, I'm talking about platinum.
Oh, you're talking about platinum. Sorry. Yeah. Platinum
Yeah.
has some really cool art in there, and it's just like the set was done really well. I'm seeing so many PSA 10s of that thing, like of every card.
It is a high grade set. I mean, it's from a quality standpoint, it is much better than Flair. Flair is rough right out of the pack. A lot of surface scratches. A ton of people have opened them up with top left corners, just not good at all. So I think that for, high grade, if you get a high grade Flair of a low numbered or important character, that's going to hold a little more weight because, like you said, platinum is grading. I don't know what the ratios are with the percentage of 10s, but they're coming out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen exactly. Yeah. It doesn't seem like much of a challenge to gem one of those. Look at Andrew, look at Doom and Alonzo being all loving with each other. They're both saying the other's voice is the best.
Okay, wait. I'm just hearing Doom say Alonzo all day in his voice, right? And then Alonzo in his voice saying, "No, you got to play."
Yeah, right. In their voices,
you can just hear their voices. Yeah. Let's see. Billy says Alonzo and Doom started their careers as overnight radio jockeys at the Smooth Jazz station.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Bill, what up? Soul was with us, right? Soul, what's going on?
Yeah. Doom says, we like to say do care around my way, but salute to all the don't care crew. And I mean, Doom knows this. At least I hope he does. The don't care is just about the content that comes on the Spidey Hits, Marvel card, and collectibles. It's not not Marvel card collectible channel. I'm thrilled for DC fans to get what would be, hopefully important trading cards. I think there's a void in the trading card space for, regularly put out high quality, desirable DC cards.
100%.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
My questions, I mean, most of you probably watching, I think probably saw my video, but my question primarily is, what does this mean for Marvel trading cards as a whole? Especially as it relates to, Upper Deck. And, is there any impact on release quality? Upper Deck just generally feels taxed as it is in its capacity from resources. If they're going to based on the blog that was put out, it sounds like they're going to have a similar release schedule with similar sets, right as Marvel right off the bat, with original art, top end sets, and premium technology sets. That takes a lot of effort, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just curious how that's going to impact Marvel trading cards, or is it a sign that they are diversifying because they may be concerned about losing the license? I'm not saying that's true or not true. I don't know anything. This is like reading the tea leaves kind of thing, guesswork. But it just, that's where my concern lies. The second part is just how am I going to feel when there are brands that are really synonymous with me as a Marvel card collector that now are going to also include DC cards? How is that? How's that going to just, I don't know. It's going to be interesting for me as a Marvel card fan for now 30 plus years. How is that going to feel when there's a Marvel masterpieces? Well, I can't even say it right. DC masterpieces.
You always slip the Marvel in there. I heard you
It,
do it in your video too, I think.
it's well, it's just my brain. Like it's
Right.
like one word. Like metal doesn't just belong to Upper Deck. There was a DC metal set when we were kids, but it wasn't the same type of metal when we're talking about Marvel metal. Um, but there was a DC Master Series, which was an original art Marvel Masterpiece S type release. It just has me go like, why not just do a DC Master Series? Original art, and you already have that brand. That Flair Ultra obviously doesn't belong to Marvel. Flair Ultra shows up other places, but it is something that we've grown to really connect to our Marvel trading card fandom, and we have for a long time. So those are the things I'm really interested about. How are sketch artists going to be taxed? Is Upper Deck going to do a good job of diversifying their artists that they reach out to? Because they ask artists to do a lot of sketches. How's the quality of sketches going to be impacted? So these are the kind of questions that I have related to Upper Deck owning both licenses, both Marvel and DC.
Right. So there's a question that I want to ask you right at the top, and then I want to actually dive a little bit into this. I want to share some of my opinions on this as well.
Please, I want to hear them.
But, yeah, please. No, thank you. But the question I have is, are you going to be ripping DC product on the channel?
That's it'll be hard not to at least open a box, just as a fan, right? Like a fan of DC or something like that. I have no, like, I don't know if you remember, I opened up one box of DC. What was it called? It was like a NFT digital. It like had some kind of component to it where you could scan the card and then.
I'm drawing a
open
blank on that
those.
one.
Yeah, and as I opened that box back then, there were some kind of solid foiled cards, and I just was like, man, imagine a Batman red PMG. Like, you've heard me say that. Imagine what that would do in the card market, because I think it would be bonkers, to be honest with you. So I've opened that kind of stuff. I opened up a one DC box. I can't remember. It was a DC Master Series. I opened up one DC Master Series box. But we're talking about one-offs, like the way I one-off a Disney set.
Sure. Sure.
But,
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Disney made it onto the channel. Yeah.
But if you think that I'm gonna like start doing non-sport news or the non-sport channel where I cover all those things, no, I think there's a lot of value to the viewer if they know that when they come to the channel that they're going to get Marvel cards. Like if they want to hear about Marvel cards, they come to the Spidey Hits channel. If they want to see Marvel cards, they come to the Spidey Hits channel. For me personally, I like that element of drilling down rather than kind of being spread out across, other things. I mean, there's a reason why I don't do Marvel Legends content, even though I still open Marvel Legends. I was opening my new Angel that I got today. And so, but I didn't turn the camera on, so there's a reason why I don't do that. And keep the focus as Marvel trading cards.
I'm glad I asked. I look forward to seeing DC product being open on your channel, but I understand that it's not going to become this 50-50 blend. It's not going to become,
No.
There was a friend of ours that Derpa said here, Spidey Bat hits, Marvel, DC, and collectibles. Like that transition isn't going to take place. But, the way that I see this is, I'm not as drilled down as you are. I think that was the phrase that you used.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at them as comic book cards, right? Whether they're Marvel or DC, I think they're great. I think they're cool. I look forward to seeing the art. And so that's my short way of saying, like, I wasn't troubled by any of it at all. But you brought up some very great points. I want to explore those. But the other place where I don't have like this very strong opinion are those brands being shared. Like, yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue the same as Marvel masterpieces, but there wasn't a part of me that thought, how dare you? And I feel like some of that happened in the community. It's just what I heard. It's not like I was really in there analyzing what everyone was saying, but I heard a little bit of this division, right? Like people actually pronouncing their thoughts on it very vocally, like and maybe even offending some people, which I thought was kind of unnecessary. and I'm not talking about you. I actually don't know who I'm talking about. I'm expressing what I heard friends of ours say,
Mhm.
that they caught wind of people talking negatively about people interested in DC cards. And that's rather absurd to me because I just look at it like comic cards, right? You took it to a place where you said it's not going to become the non-sport channel,
Mhm.
almost putting them into a category of every non-sport sort of thing, right? And I still have them far removed in my mind from a TCG, even though DC and Marvel can do TCGs, but I don't associate a DC card with a Pokemon card. I associate the DC card, of course, with
Mhm.
its comic book counterparts, right? Marvel cards and so on and so forth. So for me, the sharing of the brands, I just thought, bring it on. Let's see how you guys
Mhm.
do. And but I respect your approach to it because it's a respectable approach. It's like, this is a Marvel channel. You love Marvel cards, and maybe we won't see the DC, box break party. Who
Mhm.
knows? Maybe we will.
DC
It's not
box
like,
spray party. Yeah.
yeah, like maybe it will happen. But the things that you brought up that were most fascinating, because I
Mhm.
just thought it was great. DC cards are coming, bring them on. Let's see Catwoman, let's see Joker, let's see Batman. These are going to be awesome looking pieces of art. Um, but you brought up these interesting points on your video that you did about it, about whether this is Upper Deck losing or having maybe already lost
Or
the
sharing.
Marvel license.
Or sharing the license. I
Has
don't
sharing
know.
been a thing for like has
I
that ever
don't know. I
historically,
mean,
do we have
look,
a record of that?
I in my own mind, whether it's true or not, I can't talk. I hold Disney as a licensing company. Like that's their main thing. They build brands, they sell licensing. They don't make the thing, they build the brand of it and then they license it and then you make the thing, they make the money, right? It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah,
It's just brilliant.
right.
And that means that they're like masters on how to license and they license at scales. You know, maybe it's geographically, maybe it's size, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so, and or maybe it's just brand overall, brand licensing.
Hmm.
And so that's the part that fascinates me is that will there ever be an opening one day where in the way Disney's able to dish out licensing, someone else is making a Marvel card.
Mm,
We know that Hasbro Wizard of the Coast is going to do Magic the Gathering Marvel.
right.
Upper Deck does TCG related Marvel cards too. So that's a shared license as I see it.
Oh, that's right. That's not an Upper Deck product. That's a different
Correct.
world. Oh
And
wow,
so
yeah.
that's the question. We see it as an exclusive license with Upper Deck, and maybe it is. I'm talking about something I know nothing about, but it makes me wonder: is there something at play in the future? And I don't know. We just don't know. Yeah, like they're talking about how Topps has a digital license. By the way, if you saw it on Instagram today, Bella Ranchin, a beautiful artist, both she's beautiful and her artwork's beautiful, but that's not the point. She just did a bunch of original art for Topps digital trading cards, and those have been getting posted, and they're really awesome. They look great.
That Spider-Man painting that I saw today,
Yeah.
the half symbiote, half spider, that's up for a digital card release.
Yes, as I understand it.
Wow.
Yep.
Great work. That was incredible to see.
So here's some of the things that I would not be looking forward to as a Marvel card person trying to open up a DC box. If they're going to do 100 character checklist, it gets pretty weird in DC pretty quick with character checklist.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, like we got Superman, Batman, we got, let's say Catwoman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, you know, but it doesn't take very long that you start saying some names you've never seen before, some characters you've never read about before. The casual fan, not the
Yeah.
person who's in the comics all the time. But
Oh, I'm going to be lost in a checklist. I'm not going to know a good
yeah,
60, 70% of it for sure.
and again, as a Marvel guy, just thinking out loud here, I might embarrass myself, but that's okay. Like, name me your 10 favorite females in Marvel trading cards or Marvel in general.
You
Yeah, I
Harley
want you.
Quinn, Catwoman. Let's
No,
try
no,
this.
no, no. I want you. Well, you want to do DC? You want me to do Marvel?
Well, no, I'm going to need your efforts to help me fill in the DC side
Let's
too.
do
We got to
Marvel
do.
first. Let's do Marvel
Okay.
first.
Okay. All right, let me. Who cares if I get anything wrong? So
Yeah,
Black Cat,
got it.
uh, Ghost Spider, or
Love it.
whatever people call it, right? Whatever your
Spider Gwen.
choice is,
Yeah.
Spider Gwen. I like Spider Woman as well,
Hey, there's Spider
and
Woman. Yeah.
and
These are characters, by the way. You pull it, you're not mad.
no, yeah. Um, dude, Storm, Rogue. Like, no, this is
Jean
it's
Grey,
dude, it's too easy to put 10. What
Magic,
am I? The fact that
Psylocke,
yeah,
right?
Jubilee, come on, all of them. A Domino, what a cool character. There are way more
You
than
haven't even
10.
said Mary Jane yet.
Because it was difficult. It was weird for me to not even. It was weird for me to not riddle them off so quickly at the beginning, and then I had the thought, like, what am I doing? There's 100.
Yeah, and look, and so for DC, for me, it's Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn.
Superwoman,
Superwoman,
she's a big deal.
Power Girl.
There is a Power Girl. There is. Wait, isn't there? I guess. This
Well,
is,
because she's got big boobs.
you know, this is what this is going to do. This is going to introduce a lot of Marvel card people to a lot of DC characters, which is, great for DC.
But that's like, that's about all I got.
It's not what
Derpa's going to say Black Canary. Oh
I
no,
don't know
wait.
who that is.
I meant to, a lot of comments came in at once. Black Canary. Yeah, I'm with you.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Batgirl.
Batgirl. Oh yeah, Batgirl. Listen,
I
I'm excited about learning this stuff. I'm going to look forward to learning this stuff. Doom Card is for sure going to be showing things that I've never seen before, right? And
well, I think that's
great.
going to be probably the most entertaining part. Hopefully this content gets made, which is, hey, look, here's a card, here's a character. This is why you may not know who they are, but this is what makes them cool.
Right.
Whatever that is for them. Like that part I think would be fun. Bat Baby.
I never, bring. I mean, as long as they don't have a bat ham or whatever the spider ham is called. Like, I don't want to see a bat ham.
Bat ham.
Leave the hams over at Marvel.
There's definitely a character that is a bat. I think they call him the Bat. I think that's actually
right. Oh no, he's a literal bat then, huh? Yeah. He's from the animated series and stuff. I mean, that's where I've seen a bat.
Well, so Alonzo, I'm with you. The Batman Rose Gallery, we've said it here on the channel many times. His and Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery is like, the two best, right?
Yeah.
With Batman having, a literal almost 100 years of developing bad guys for his storyline.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I want the Alfred card. Mike says Alfred. I want an Alfred card. I want Lois Lane and Alfred cards.
Yeah. You say that, but you hit an Alfred PMG, you might be upset. But my point is like, I don't know. It's just some of the stuff I've seen, it's just not going to be for me, which is okay. But I can't wait to see, some of these really awesome, amazing, very important characters. The language I use, this is our generation's mythology, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is our fake gods, so to speak, that, we attribute some moral life lessons or codes to. Like, I love thinking about how does Batman, exist as a superhero without superpowers, and then that's debatable, and never killing anyone.
Right.
And his villains are you kill without thought. We lost Manu.
No. I was just making some adjustments here.
I mean, I love thinking through that, superheroism that he has to deal with, and then the negative repercussions that it creates. Like, hey, if you just killed Joker, how many people would you save? But it's a code, right?
Batman never killed anybody. I mean, not that I know of.
Anything that I know about, someone can correct me, but yeah, if Batman ever killed anyone, then that would go against everything he's about.
So Raj just said, hey, no Hercules in DC, but many of our friends were saying, Justin, you're going to have a great time because Hercules exists in both universes.
I heard that, and I mean, that is just another check mark on why this will not become baddie hits.
Sean Couch, what's up, my man? He said plenty of crappy characters. Most people don't know in Platinum as well, though. That might be true. That might be true. I haven't engaged with the set yet. Might
To
be
the
true.
casual fan, yeah. And I don't even know what casual means anymore because I'm so deep into this hobby that it's
Sure.
a blurred line for me, but not for me. I mean, I know those characters. That's not a problem.
I
But
see a character in any Marvel release that I wasn't familiar with before seeing that
on
open.
Anya Stark, I didn't know who that was.
Me neither.
And it
You
was
know,
supposed to be, I think, this is where I don't want to have to. I don't want to be calling Black Cat Catwoman. That I just got to make sure that doesn't happen on the channel.
you know, I look forward to a what did they call it back in the day when they brought the universes together? The amalgam
Oh,
set? Was it the
yeah,
amalgam set?
yeah, or the DC versus Marvel, and there
Yeah.
have been people. Joshua, Marvel Madness MCU immediately went to the fact, hey, I want to see a DC versus Marvel set. I think Upper Deck will capitalize on that. I can't imagine they hold back for too long on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Swami says, Spidey Metal was the first time I felt the character list ran too long. Yeah, I agree. There was some stuff in there.
We had some Aunt Mays in that set.
Look, Aunt May's important to Spidey.
And some guy at a computer. I remember some guy at a desk, you know?
You know Alistair Smythe. You watched the animated series. He's the
I
one who
choose
built the Spidey Slayer.
I only remember what I want to remember. I didn't remember this guy. He was new to me,
You didn't remember him like that, that's for sure.
Yeah, but good. I'm glad that we talked about that. When's the first DC set coming out? Do we have a date?
Well, right now on ePack, our Upper Deck's website called ePack, you can open up some DC cards, and I don't know if they're just all digital or if they're combinable to a physical card. We'll let somebody in the comments talk about that. But they went straight to the Jim Lee Superman, which is great looking Superman.
Yeah, Run It Back just said something. He said we need a McFarlane crossover set with Batman and Spider-Man. That'd be epic. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, maybe Upper Deck's listening. That would be fun. And One Man Reaction Fraction, this is our buddy at Beckett, says you can get physical. So yes, they can. And DC is no longer available. So are you saying that initial release is gone now? It was only available for a short time.
Wow.
Okay. But as far as when, it feels like the fall from what I read in the blog. But they're anticipating this year for sure. And but just a quick shout out to Doom Card. Doom has expressed his fandom for DC trading cards for a long time over at Card Drop and his channel. Definitely know you're going to be able to check out DC trading card content there.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a great channel. So fun content.
A Diorama Rama says, I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you. Bellman.
Hey. Wait, did he say Baleman because it was when Christian Bale played Batman, or is that?
I don't know. I was kind of wondering if it was a typo for Batman, but
we're gonna learn a lot, Justin. We're
gonna
learn a whole lot.
There is heavy DC show tonight for the Marvel show.
My bad.
There is a new DC animated show coming out.
Hey, that looks amazing.
It definitely looks amazing, but the part I want to focus in on is in the police station. They're talking about Batman, right? But they did Bat-Man, like Spider-Man with the hyphen in the middle.
Okay. So the people that weren't in the know that were talking about this new guy, Batman, that's messing up the city, they were calling him Bat-Man. Was Batman ever Bat-Man back in the day? That I don't know. I don't know.
That I don't know either. But maybe in that early, 1930s, more of that noir is not the right word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I love Batman in that setting. He works so well.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it's just crowbars and revolvers. It's not high-tech weaponry and all this kind of stuff. It's I think he works so much better in that setting.
Absolutely. And now I'll bring in a little bit of Marvel here just to say this bit is I was very excited for X-Men animated series. I'm very excited about Batman's animated series, but when I say I'm excited, I'm going to watch it, I don't know if that's going to happen. And what I mean is, I still haven't seen the X-Men animated series. And I
Yeah.
know that was an incredible show because everyone raved about it.
It's well, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this because obviously I love our childhood Marvel animated series, and the impact they had on me is second to none. Obviously, but even as a kid, watching the Batman animated series was more of a cinematic experience rather than just kind of that just pure nostalgic experience for me.
Yes.
And the animated DC animated series throughout, from then until now, there are some exceptions that were not great, but for the most part, they've all been really enjoyable to watch. And in my nerdom, I hold DC animated and Star Wars animated for the Clone Wars as like my favorite animated stuff to watch.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I would put X-Men 97 up against almost any of those in terms of the emotions that I experienced while watching it.
Wow.
X-Men 97 was done really well. Bravo to Bo DiMaio, all the voice actors and crew. It was written really, really well, and I'm excited about the next. Well, the next season for sure. They've already greenlit season 3, but I don't know if Bo DiMaio is going to be directing it. That makes me nervous. But I'd encourage you to take it in when you get a chance.
Yeah, I gotta buy that Disney subscription so that I can be in the loop. I want to be in the loop.
You have a friend that has a login out there somewhere because you give
I'm
it to 5
sure.
people.
I don't want. Oh, you can. Oh, hell.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want it. I should. I should commit. I should commit to these things, right? So,
Derpa, I do want to point out what he says because I think it's important. He says the new Batman, give the Batman animated series 5. It's because Bruce Timm is producing it. And so to me, that's really important. He's done a lot of the art, and he's the one actually producing it.
there was something that came up a few days ago, maybe a week ago, and oh, actually, I don't know if I want to. Actually, I do want to bring that up. Sorry, this is like a hard pivot,
No, you're
but
good.
it occurred to me. There was that reel that I had clipped of Sean from Reserved Investments.
Yes.
And you even left a comment. You said this is going to be a great thing to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into that because things happened after that tie into the things that Sean said. But Sean very simply said, there are no core fundamentals when valuing collectibles, right? And cards, comics, anything cool that people pay money for.
And I assume because he has a big coin and antique
He's an antique guy. Yeah, he's got a lot of that.
I wasn't
He's talking
sure
about both though, antiques and collectibles.
That's what I was saying. I wasn't sure if he was like directing it at like kind of the nerdy space or collectible space, or if he was saying collectibles period across the board.
I would imagine it's weighted more towards the collectible space because that's where he gets the most people that he calls Timmy, Kimmies, and Poindexters that attack him about why this PMG is a great investment or this Nintendo game is a great investment, and he's always having to shield that sort of commentary.
Right.
And so it's probably more that, but I think what he's expressing also applies to even historical artifacts. They might have an easier to digest significance. You might be able to put into words why something from the tomb of somewhere is more important than a Spider-Man comic.
If you show me an old rusted piece of metal, I'll go, that's worthless. But if you tell me the story and there's a narrative and history around it, I go, oh well, that might be priceless.
Right. And so he goes on to say there are no core fundamentals with collectibles. I mean, I clipped it up. There's an hour-long video there behind that. I put out 20 seconds of it. But what I really loved was, I knew it was going to ruffle some feathers, but he said, so when someone asks you what something's worth, tell them the truth. It's worth what someone's willing to pay at the moment in time that thing becomes available. Now, and I get that. And I get that that's nuance. And I get you could debate it because you decided to sort of debate it. And that's what I want to talk about. You said, well, that's great for
the buyer.
For the buyer, to say, well, who else is going to pay for it? I'll give you $50 right now. That's what it's worth. That's what I'm willing to pay. Like that's great. But you said, for an individual looking to sell that doesn't know much about, what they have, they might have inherited it or it was left to them, whatever the case might be. It's not great advice to let them know that it's only worth what someone's willing to pay. But that's when I was like, but Justin, it's not as though someone's going to come to you for advice and you're literally going to tell them to write that on the price tag. You know, there's all of the other stuff that has to happen. And then another gentleman from the community, and so I want to explore that with you, but another gentleman from the community jumped into the comment section and he goes, but there are core fundamentals, research, research, research. And I'm disconnected there because research isn't a core fundamental. History of sales is not a core fundamental. That's a history of sales. Because if you're talking about this Detective 27, the Tech 27 that just sold for $600,000 less than it sold previously. It previously sold for like 1.1 or 1.2, and now it just sold for like 650,000, 100,000 give or take. I don't know, right?
Right.
But
so for half, is that what you said? It dropped
yeah,
like half.
so the research did not bring the 1.2 buyer because there aren't that. It's an emotional thing. The market is emotional. If that one or two buyers that cares deeply enough for that book as an item to own and he has the money to do it, he or she, or as an investment, if they had just bought something else a week prior, these are sort of illiquid markets. It's not huge liquidity. If you remove one or two people, $600,000 less. Yeah, if you remove one or two people, well, your outcome is $600,000 less than the last sale. So that, to me, that happening is in the defense of what Sean says. You got to be careful out here. There's no core fundamentals. You don't eat comic books. You don't sleep underneath comic books. They don't shelter you. It's an emotional nostalgia, cool alternative investment sort of thing. I love Sean's perspective, but I know it's nuanced. I know it can be torn apart because what you said is also correct. That's not great advice for someone selling, but elaborate on that for me.
Yeah, I think what Sean says is kind of like great protection advice, right? Like, hey, just know if you're a speculative buyer, you're buying for the potential to make a profit down the road. Down the road, you may be met with the only price you can get at that particular time is what that particular person is willing to pay. So just know that there's no guarantee of profit in the future.
Right.
And I have a lot of respect for that. And I think that is true. Like there's no debating that, there's, I mean, you take any asset class at all. The fact that you can lose is also part of why you can gain. Like they're inseparable. And collectibles is more difficult because it's less regulated. There's more opportunity for fraud, for people to shield, which is to pump up something as if it's valuable when it's not. There's opportunity for all kinds of misinformation. And it makes it a riskier place to speculate. Right. So I think that he's given kind of this quick 1-2 punch, like, hey, be careful. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hear it that way. I just don't think it serves everyone. And
it doesn't. Not in so few words, it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's akin to Dave Ramsey giving the never have debt advice. Like it's the best advice you could give the most amount of people.
Right.
Period.
Right. I see it as if Sean was short with it because Sean was responding to whomever in the community or whomever in his audience says to him, just that, says something like a Tech 27 is the world's greatest investment. It will never go down in value, right? So they're making a bold statement, which clearly has holes in it. And so he comes back with a response that has some holes. If
I'll say something shocking, like just shocking real quick. So like if I said, hey, Manu, I'll give you 10,000 for your Fallout 4 newsstand 9.8, and you have 30 minutes to find a better buyer.
Oh, okay. So
you may not. Okay. I might be the best buyer for 30 minutes. Right. So so full disclosure, this, everyone knows this, that probably
I could find a better buyer in 5 minutes for that book. I just wanted to say, like,
no, that book. And it wouldn't work. Like, I'm just saying, like, there's a point in time where that would be the best offer. Like there is, you know what I mean? Like we could make those conditions and make it true. Okay. It doesn't mean that's what it's worth. It just means that's the best price you could get at that moment.
Right.
Value, period. Value without question is not a fact.
Right. It's not.
If you want to know, if you want to be a trained evaluator, the number one thing you got to know is value is not a fact. Price is a fact. Price is a fact. People confuse the two.
Right.
Price and value are not synonymous.
Define that for us.
Well, value is an opinion, period. Value is an opinion. And one man or woman's opinion is not the same as another man or woman's opinion, period. There's no mechanism that exists anywhere that determines or dictates exactly what something is worth as if it was a fact. But price is a fact. If I said, hey, I did this one-of-one original art sketch of Ghost Rider, and my price is $3,000. That's a fact.
Because you've put it there. You've asked for it. That is your price. Yeah.
Manu, what is it worth?
We'll have to see.
But it's just an opinion. You could say $50 and I couldn't say you were wrong.
Sure. But that's why, in those three words, introducing worth into that conversation, value, worth, and price. Do you separate value and worth, or do you look at those as synonymous?
They're synonymous because they have to be for me. Because, for me, and again, I was going to give the disclosure earlier. So I've spent 13 years as a certified real estate appraiser. So you said something I thought was very fascinating earlier, because you said it's an emotional decision. What buying decision doesn't have emotion tied to it? They're different emotions, but that's why a core fundamental, I'm going to use Sean's words, a core fundamental in value is desirability.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
Well, let me elaborate on that statement really quickly.
Because I'll go through the core principles of value together, and I think it'll help the community and help us too.
Yeah, and let's have a thought experiment here, because you say what buying decision isn't emotional, and I can't disagree with that, because quite frankly, what isn't emotional? Period. It doesn't have to be buying decision.
Hey, I'm hungry.
Emotion. What do I feel like eating? Now you're emotionally making a decision, right?
Right. Why would I buy $100 steak when I could easily eat something nutritious for under $8?
Sure. And when and that emotion is the emotion of wanting to spoil yourself that night, like have a whatever that might be. When I talk about a collectible as this is going to be a little bit of a because it's nuanced, but when I say the only value proposition for a collectible is the emotion, what I mean by that is these markets are driven by nostalgia, our memory for something, a love for something, far more than an other, exchangeable asset or item that obviously we make an emotional decision about. Now, there's emotion tied into buying your home. Of course there is. How does it look? How's the neighborhood? How did you feel when you walked through it, right? You want to be in love with your home. But the other side of owning a home is having shelter, having a home, having something that is more liquid than a collectible with a globally recognized trade. And you could even, it's real estate, it's a property. And there's emotion there, but it's not only emotion.
Yeah, you're talking about basic human needs of food, shelter, clothing.
Yeah.
There are other basic human needs. We don't necessarily buy them, but those three we purchase, right? They have an expense. Yeah.
Right. Like, I think this is absolutely stunning, but this is my childhood copy. I'm emotionally completely attached to this thing. Now, this, what's someone going to pay for this? $3? Like, it has nothing
Well, they're not
to do
going to
with
give
how
you
I
the
feel about it.
value that you assign to it.
Yeah.
But your value is an opinion.
I can't eat this. I can't wear this. I can't drive this to the store. What I have here is a physical representation of something that I am very emotionally connected to. Now, so I think I cleared that up a little bit. Because of course everything is an emotional decision, right? But like gold, for instance, if we're buying gold, people make the argument that gold is used in stuff, right? That's why gold has this relatively stable value. it's used in medicine, it's used in science, it's used in machinery, equipment, computers, and all of these things, right? So do we call that an intrinsic value? There's always going to be some dollar amount that some company's willing to pay for the raw product to utilize it inside a product that they're making.
Well, I would argue that you and I could fathom and fictionalize a scenario where gold is worthless and bread is the most valuable thing on the planet.
Yeah, we could.
And so, like, we're not talking about apocalyptic conditions, right? We're talking
Right.
about, modern society where we are not thinking about how we're going to eat tomorrow as much as we're thinking about, what we're going to spend our money on.
Right.
It's good or bad, whether you think that's a healthy society or not. Like that's where we're at, and what we see kind of at play is anticipation, desirability. Those two things drive purchasing decisions. But what creates value as and I'm going to use terminology here. What would you define as a fair market value?
Mm-hmm.
Fair market value, meaning not the highest it might sell for or the lowest, but the most probable.
Right.
What is the most probable sales price? It's
Right.
when both buyer and seller, this is really important,
Mm-hmm.
both buyer and seller are knowledgeable. They
Okay.
both know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they're well informed. They have the ability to learn. We saw this play out in the Marvel card space. I'm a victim of it too, where you're gone for 20, 25 years. You show back up, you see cards you've never seen before, and you see them selling at prices that you didn't know did or shouldn't exist. Like you just didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, well, if that thing's worth this, well, this other thing, which is a lot better in serial number, should be worth more. And so I'll pay that. But there's not great knowledge, right? And then all of a sudden, that price is now a fact, and it creates a misinformed buyer.
Right. Right.
And it feeds on itself. You see what I'm saying? And but both buyer and seller are knowledgeable. Both buyer and seller do not have undue influences, meaning they're not under compulsion. I'm going to use a really bad example, but if I said, hey, Manu, you've got to buy my one-of-one sketch card here for $3,000, and I put a gun to your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like that purchase would not be a fair market indicator of value.
No.
Because it would have influence. What if my wife said, hey, Justin, I'm tired of all your Marvel crap. You either sell it all or we're getting a divorce. Well, all of a sudden I tanked the Spider-Man market because I put 300 Spidey hits up for sale at a low price because I want to save my marriage.
Right.
Those sales would not be indicative of market value. Let me tell you, that kind of stuff probably happens and we don't know it. And so those are elements that are at play.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Here's another big one. And this has been impacted both positively and negatively the last 4 years. It's the buyer's ability to pay. It's the buyer's ability to pay. Why does this matter? Well, in 2020, we saw that about 40% of the supply of money increased, about 40% in the US.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what did we do with that money? We bought stuff we didn't need.
Sure.
We bought our childhood, honestly, is what happened. That's what people did with it.
Nostalgia, baby.
The Fed said, holy crap, we're headed towards 7-8% inflation. That's a good way to sink a country. Go look at some other third world countries where it takes $1 million of whatever their dollar is to buy something, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they said, we're going to raise the price of money. We're going to make it more expensive, and we're going to pull money out of the system. We're going to reduce the money supply. The money supply, I don't know the exact math, but it's like the lowest it's been in 30 years or 50 years or something like that. Well, guess what? That means the buyer's ability to pay has been impacted. So guess what happens to the value of a thing? It drops. And so all of this, these are all, to use, again, Sean's words, these are all core principles that impact market value or value. Mm-hmm. And so it's, to me, like all of that plays a role. And to say that is simply what one man's willing to pay is to kind of misunderstand why they are willing to pay that, or what might be at play that might would have somebody else pay it if they knew it was available. Exposure is another core aspect of market value. If you're trying to sell something on your Instagram channel that has 350 followers and half of them is your family and friends that don't collect, like, good luck.
Right.
Good luck. That's one of the things that drives the value of eBay, because it creates exposure at a scale that's pretty wide, a wide net, right?
Yeah, the item's worth what it's worth, but the person with 10,000 people watching the items is going to find the person that it's worth more to.
Look, I'm going to talk about you for a second.
Please.
You know that core principles at work, whether you've ever acknowledged it, like your head and your heart like connected the dots, but you know it because your Instagram page has the right exposure for the right things that you put up for it.
Right.
Because it has the right audience. And so it has actually a greater reach of exposure for what it is. But if you want to try to sell like a Honda Civic tomorrow, probably wouldn't do well on the 9.9 Newsstand.
No, they'd be a little confused as to what the heck is going on here.
But, there's places you could put it and it would get the right exposure.
Of course.
But the value you would get on the 9.9 Newsstand would not be the same. So exposure is a big part of it. Is it properly 100%. Exposed? So all these things are at play. And if you're not aware of that as someone who's selling the thing that you think is valuable, you may not get your max value, number one. And if you're a buyer and you're not awake to these forces at play on you, you may overpay.
May I use an actual specific example of right now in my life, trying to apply a value, trying to find the buyer in the amount of time that I was waving the item around, not being able to find the buyer, and having a different market dynamic enter. And I'm going to tell this as briefly as possible.
I'd love to see this example.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, you know this book, and a lot of our friends here know it, because when I gush over something, I just don't stop talking about it, right? But this is actually really fascinating. So everyone, pardon me for
Can I make you big for this?
Yes, of course you can. I wouldn't be confused. Manu would sell his left pinky for the right price. Listen, the pinky would take a lot, but
there is a
what
price.
you're saying, my friend. I get what you're saying. So we're going to talk dollars and stuff, and I'm going to get enthused about it because I like the values of cool, rare things. Okay, forgive me, everyone. So this is a 9.8 of the Malibu Sun 13. We don't have to talk about the book, many people know, but this is the Error edition, and I was recently able to grade a 9.8. I graded this book myself. Now,
we're talking about the true first appearance, however you want to debate it. It's not actually a comic book, but
it's not a comic book. It is a preview. It's a preview comic. It's a zine. I don't know. It's a preview comic that was distributed a few months before Spawn #1. What's so interesting about it is that's the cover of Spawn 1, just not like finished, not polished, and that of course is not the branding for Spawn that made it to the official Spawn. Right? It's very cool, and most of them are like a normally colored Spawn. And very few of them have this error where the color was turned into this. And it's pricey, it's expensive. So now I had to decide, once I was able to actually grade the 9.8, I want to sell the book, and there are a couple of things that I knew that other people didn't know, which obviously makes it more difficult to convince someone of the value. But also, for the past 4 years that I had been engaging with and attempting to grade this book, there was only one blue label on the census. And there were 2 yellow label 9.8s on the census. There were 3 in total, 2 yellow, 1 blue. I graded this book and I'm preparing my post. And to my shocking surprise, there was another one. And it wasn't this one. So the one blue label that had always existed had then become 2 blue labels. And now I've added the third. Well, when something only had 3 and now there's 5, that could change a value. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's still rare enough to be the most expensive Spawn thing or whatever, right? But maybe it changed. So there was that one bit. And I had always thought that one blue label that existed, I had never seen it. So maybe that one blue label is actually one of the yellow labels. Now,
that would make sense.
Yeah, and I can't prove that, but I can still incorporate that thought because that thought might influence, and I'm not trying to, that's what I think. So I'm just saying what I think, but that might make an individual say, hey, You might be right. Maybe there are only 4 of these, even though the census reads 5, and maybe that affects someone's ideas of value. But getting to the point here, the yellow label of this book sold on Heritage like 3 years ago for about 21,000 and change, the signed one. That book, I guess, never left Heritage because underneath that sold listing, there's a picture of it, and it says the buyer is selling the book. You can make an offer. Your offer has to be a minimum of 32,000. Now,
I will
that's
tell
like
you
the
that
price.
it doesn't mean it didn't leave. That they
Okay.
just still have possession of it, according to Heritage. And if
Yeah.
you make the offer, they get the information to that owner.
Okay.
I
So
bought
the
stuff
book
on
actually,
Heritage where that
yeah.
stayed up as an option. Yeah,
Oh, and you actually were in the physical of
correct.
the item. Oh, interesting. See, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
that's very cool to know. So that is now available on the Heritage site for a minimum offer of 32. That doesn't mean that that's what it's worth, but that's the price that
Well, if
individual
you
has
want
said.
one, it's in the evaluation appraisal world, your active, available. I'm going to use the word listings, like that's a listing. It's an indicator of value. It doesn't mean it's reflective of value,
Yes.
but it's an indicator. It's like, hey, dude, I've searched and scoured all the places that you could find one of these, and there's only one available, and they want 32.
Right. It's a
So if you
fact.
don't
There
want
it is.
mine, good luck.
There you
But
go.
but now am I going to take 12 for mine? No, no.
Exactly,
You
right?
see what I'm
No.
saying?
And so then the other yellow label was advertised for sale on a community member's page, and it was the guidelines for the purchase were very strict. It was $25,000, cash only, no negotiating, come and get it. It was very strict. And guess what? A
Uh-huh.
buyer came with $25,000 and bought the book. And I know the buyer, I know the seller, I know where the book exists, so on and so forth, right? So I
Yeah.
know that there was a $25,000 transaction on a signed one, but it's not recorded, so all we have is that one price, right? Then, so I decide to list the book with Elite, and I asked 25,000 essentially, or best
Roughly.
offer. Now I have a bottom line price on it, but I don't publicly say the bottom line price. That only
Right.
gets spoken to the people I'm in a very serious
Mhm.
conversation with. Interestingly, while I'm attempting to sell this book, speaking to very specific people that I know can buy the book and have an interest in buying the book,
Yeah.
that other 9.8 that was added to the census back in January that didn't exist for the last 4 years
Uh-huh.
is now for sale on Heritage. The auction is coming up in August, right? That's months from now, and that creates hesitancy in the buyers
Sure.
because they don't know what that book is going to sell for, which
Mhm.
inevitably is going to represent the value of what they just bought had someone purchased this. And how do I then value this book knowing that sale could go
And
north or south of it? I
it's
don't know.
part of, and for me, the way I dumb it down from all mine is like, hey, look, you know, this is what I think you should pay for this. This is what I think it's worth. And they go, well, it's not worth that. Well, go find one as good or better at a lower price.
Right.
Well, that worked until you discovered the Heritage. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it may not be a lower price.
No, they're
In
just going
my
to wait and bid
opinion,
on it.
as someone who's, you know, is more of a spectator than a participator in Heritage, I have bought stuff off of Heritage. Things sometimes tend to sell for more than I think they should on Heritage.
Well, let's hope.
Right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my own personal opinion, but some things sell under. And here's why. It's the audience that they have as a captive audience.
Yeah.
I think a vast majority of Heritage's audience is actually probably older than 45. And so that has an impact on some of the things I think that go under the radar versus things that don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but
Well, let's revisit this in a couple of months and see how that book did on Heritage, because I don't know. I mean, if somebody comes in and pays close to what I'm asking for it,
yeah,
I may sell the book prior, and they'll
here's
inherit the risk essentially of what that other book might do.
it's and this is a beautiful part I think of thinking about what to pay for things. It's like there's a known, right? And then there's an
Hmm.
unknown.
Hmm.
And I like to call them exclamation points and question marks. When there are question marks, it lowers confidence. When you lower confidence, it lowers value. When you have exclamation points, no one's like, yes, yes, yes. That creates confidence. Confidence creates a buyer's willingness to pay more.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing when those are at work is important. And you just beautifully described. You said, hey, look, here's a known out here. It's 32 if you want it. Here's what I know. It's the only one available. And I'm like $7,000 under that. I think we both win. And then all of a sudden a question mark pops up. And what's that? Well, could I get it cheaper on Heritage? What if I'm the only one watching it that day? You know what I mean? Like these question marks come up and all of a sudden the exclamation points go away and you're smart enough to know, well, then I'll wait until the exclamation points pop up again and the question marks go away.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, what was so funny about that, speaking of like, you know, an audience that, you know, the community that we've created, we very much like all of the same stuff. So when I made a post about this book, I did not imagine that the owner of the other one was going to introduce themselves to me, but now I know that person. We're friends now, right? And he's like, yeah. His story of that book is so cool. It's his actual childhood copy. Not only that, his father ran a used bookstore. I might get this a little wrong, a used bookstore, but they started selling used comics and it started doing so well that they also became a store that sells new releases. So they became a comic book store in the 90s. And they had the Malibu Sun 13 preview and they kept the error copy and they graded it in January. That's the whole story.
Really cool. I mean, a preview magazine was made to be previewed, and the collectible is the thing you ordered out of it, right?
That's right.
Like, you were not supposed to save it in mint condition. Armando has a question. He says, Manu,
I will not
spawn and send it for. All right. So this is a question I wanted to cover tonight.
Okay, great. And I just found out that I could pop the chat up on this screen so I could see it while I see you. It's so weird. We're small, but the chat's big. I'm happy. Carry on.
Well, I love it. So there's a group in New York that have been kind to me. I've made content there. Metropolis.
Yeah, of course.
And
Comic Connect, Metropolis,
Vince. And it might be just it might just be my feed in Instagram. But man, they sure seem to be getting a lot of the 9.9s and the 10.0s out of CGC.
You ain't lying.
And it's it doesn't feel natural. When I'm not, and when I say that, it like implies that it's unnatural, would be unethical, and that kind of thing. I don't know anything like that, but all I know is like, wow. Now, a place like Metropolis, I'm logically thinking this through with you. They get some of the best stuff come through their doors. Like I've seen it firsthand. So if I had something that was in the best condition, like I would go there. I would sell it there. I mean, they have a way of attracting the best. So that might be it too. But man, obviously it feels like the grading scale has changed, whatever that means. And they seem to have the best books and they're getting the benefit of both. And it seems odd out the gate is what I'm getting at.
I'm with you. And so of course I've made commentary here and there about this and of course I have opinions about it. And I don't know how, I don't want to be offensive in anything that I say also. And I've been open about this with you. It's like, I'm not too concerned about bridges, I'm not, if a bridge becomes unavailable to me because I've said something that causes some trouble, well, that's okay with me, but at this point, I have some facts and then I have my fun curiosities, and quite frankly, I think, and I've come to terms with this, maybe it's Vince and maybe it's Vince and Matt Nelson. Like, I don't know. Right. But there's a relationship between Comic Connect and CGC, a very friendly one, and friends take care of friends. I'm not sure that if I were in the same position, I wouldn't be doing the same thing. I'm actually not sure. I don't know what the mechanics of getting the grade are.
It's interesting you say that. This is what comes to my brain. So I'm just going to honor what's in my head. In 5th grade, I had a teacher named Miss Jordan. Miss Jordan's daughter, Miss Jessica Jordan, was in the classroom. And let me tell you, the kid that the teacher was the hardest on was her own daughter. And she was a good kid, smart kid. She was not But she and I remember as a kid thinking, hey, you're kind of overcorrecting. Like, you want to make sure that we're not saying there's nepotism. I didn't know what that word was as a kid, but I understood like would her own daughter get favored? Well, she didn't, and I thought she kind of overcorrected. And so it's interesting you say that, because I think, I know you said you might not do it, but I actually think you might do the opposite, because you would want to protect the integrity of what you were doing so much that you might be a little harsher on your friends or on your family. In my job, I'm not allowed to serve my own family. If someone comes into my place of work, it's we're not allowed. I can't do a loan for someone who I'm related to. And because even if I would do the exact same job, and I wouldn't deviate for them or someone else, even the appearance of a thing can be a bad thing.
Right.
And so I don't know. It's again,
but
they're an attractor of really amazing collectibles. We're talking about the best of the best. And so I shouldn't be surprised if they are showing the best, but it's the frequency and the short period of time to see what books are getting 9.9 and 10.0s is what kind of blows my mind.
Right. And we have friends here that might not be completely familiar with what we're talking about. So I'll do a little bit of I'll touch on that a little bit. But yeah, they obviously attract the best of the best. But there's no part of me that's not aware of the relationships. I mean, think about it. They get a book, CGC posts the book on their Instagram page promoting the auction date. Come on, and what you said makes a lot of sense. You're right. In that situation, if I'm CGC, maybe I don't do those sorts of favors because I do care about the integrity. Because at the end of the day, right now, Interglobal, what's up, my man? He asked a question. Was it him that asked? He said, oh yeah, he said, do you think it's the end of 9.8s in terms of value for them? I don't, but it's nuanced there. For some, possibly. But the reason he's asking that question falls in line with integrity, right? CGC has spent decades establishing what their attainable grade is and what their unicorn grades are, right? And that perception is now being rapidly removed. And if you do,
a 10 almost had to be manufactured. It cannot be kept naturally, almost. You know what I mean? Like for a Frank Miller Wolverine from 1980.
Let's talk about what it's sold for. Yeah.
Like, I could see where, like a metal foiled book right off the, printing press straight to CGC. It's designed to not have defects at all. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't even designed to be read. Like, it was designed to be graded. Like, I could see where that gets a 10, but a 40-year-old book.
Let's break down the details of that one really quickly. That one did have 3 10s prior. It's not the first of its kind. Like the giant size X-Men #1. The 9.9 was the first of its kind, which sold 2 days ago for $170,000, which the 9.8 is $28,000, by the way. That's the difference that 0.1 got. And that 0.1 may have just been arbitrarily put on.
This is what we don't know right now. Because we're seeing 9.8s disappear and 9.9 show up.
Yeah. Now let's go back to that Wolverine, right? The Frank Miller Wolverine Limited Series. That 10 did not produce itself because somebody said, hey, I've got one good looking copy. That was a 77 book submission of all the same book. 77 of those books were sent in. A few of them got rejected. So you know that it was a 9.8 pre-screen. 9.9 pre-screens are not legitimately a thing yet. I know people like to talk about it. You can't go to the website and pre-screen. It's not officially a thing, but it's happening. What I'm saying is on the desks of graders, and I just am using this as, as an example, because previously you weren't going to get 9.9s. Every now and then you were. Now it is very much top of mind. If it looks like a 9.9, give it a 9.9. Okay, we're not gatekeeping this grade. It just seems that way. So anyway, 77 books submitted in a 9.8 pre-screen. 6 or 7 get rejected. 40 or 50 become 9.8s. Maybe they were always 9.8s. Maybe this is a whale, someone with deep pockets that decided to take $100,000 shot at some profit, or whatever the math is, right?
Maybe they bought a crate and it had some books in it. It never been touched, right?
It's possible. It's possible.
Oh, it's
11 9.9s were produced, or maybe 10. 10 9.9s were produced out of that submission, and that 110. That does not seem like something that would have happened 6 months ago.
Well, it's interesting you said that. I really appreciated your language. If it was said, hey, look, hey, guys, we know we have the grading scale here. We know what a 10 is. We know what a 9.9 is. We know what a 9.8 is. But if there was been a directive verbally that said gatekeep the 9.9, which means that a lot of 9.8s could have been a 9.9 all along,
Yes.
then that's actually the bigger issue,
Yes.
not the current correction. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, and I said this the other day, right? There are two thoughts. Both
Mhm.
thoughts suck. There's no winning here. One thought is they're loosened up their grading standards, right? Which is going to
Mhm.
devalue even 9.8s. If it's now easier to get a 9.8, if they have loosened up across the board, it's
Right.
easier to get a 9.8. Collectors from this day on are not going to look at 9.8s the way collectors from this day before used to look
Yeah.
at them, which could compromise our belief in those 9.8s, right? If we start seeing quote unquote 9.6 looking 9.8s,
Right.
which so that could change things. So people are saying, is this a shift in the grading, or is this the thing that they should have always rightfully done? Which is, I always use the example of Ultimate Fallout 4. There are
Mhm.
5,000 9.8s and
Yeah.
zero 9.9s. That is not because there are no 9.9s. That is
Correct.
because they never gave the 9.9s. And in people's collections right now, encapsulated as 9.8s are 9.9s for many books. And so
And
if the
there's
direction now, if the
right.
carry
Sorry.
on,
Well,
no,
it's
if
probably
the
100
yeah,
of them too. Like, so if they all pop
exactly,
up, it makes CGC look bad.
it makes CGC look bad, right? So if the direction is that now they're giving what they should have always, well, they robbed you previously.
Yeah.
Or if the direction is to be looser on grades, well, they're robbing you now then, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's not great either way. And maybe they didn't have a great way to do it. They had to do one of two bad things and they
Mhm.
picked one, right? To keep the needle moving, to keep submissions coming in, to keep the grading community excited about something new. CGC relies heavily on the newly fascinated with
Yeah.
graded,
Yeah.
right? It's not about the people that know everything and we've experienced all the ups
Mhm.
and downs and we're mad. It's about the people that know nothing. And they just come in and think, that's a pretty case. Oh, that's cool.
Right.
For instance, people are going to see that Wolverine one in that 10 that just sold 2 days ago for 27 grand. That is an upset. 27,000 for that book is actually an upset,
Correct.
because a 9.9 recently sold for 15. And now that they've added 10 more 9.9s, do
No.
we actually assume it's going to continue to do
No.
15? Is
No.
it going to go up in value? No. And no
Here's
one graded 10 9.9s to look at them. They're going to come to market.
so here's something it's just a fascinating thought for me is like it's hard to understand how these books still are out there and have not been graded already.
Right.
Like at that scale, especially, right? So we just because this is not the first time the Wolverine one has been hot. This is not the first time it's been on
Right.
top 10 lists. Like this
Right.
is I've rushed to grade one back in 2020 and got like a 5.5, by the way. Like it was horrible. But it was the only copy
A
I had that I sent to be
5.5.
graded.
That's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
terrible. But my point is not the first time people have rushed to turn those in. It's not the first time that there's been a CGC sign in for Frank Miller. And so it's fascinating that those still exist. And as much as and I'm gonna pivot to Marvel cards for a second or trading cards
Okay.
anyways,
Yeah.
but as much as we kind of like beat up the serial numbered aspect of a trading card because it's manufactured, at least it gives some transparency. Like
Mhm.
at least you at least have that, for what that's worth. And not to say that that's the thing, but it if I had the money, I don't, but if I had the money to pay that kind of money for a book and then had to live with the fact that someone may submit 100 of them soon
Mhm.
and 10% of them are going to 9.9 or better, like that's horrifying.
It's not what it was. It's not, quite frankly, what it should be. Now,
Yeah.
if they are actually 9.9s, well, that's what it should have been.
Yeah,
But we were conditioned.
it's not that they got the grade, is that the raw
Yeah,
books of 40 years in that condition still exist
yeah, yeah.
and it could pop up anytime.
Yeah, yeah. What did Run It Back say here? It says CGC started creating their own collectibles with signature series. I see the 9.9s through the same lens as being created by CGC. Appearance of impartiality is gone when when they market what they create. I could not agree with you more.
Mhm.
They are now the thing that people are buying,
Mhm.
and it is up to them to
Mm.
it they've got a lot of power right now, and it's quite dangerous. But at
Dude,
at the
that is
same
so
time,
great. Yeah.
you know, we have a friend that owns one of the books we're talking about, but he has a newsstand though, so it's
But look,
definitely different, but still.
CGC is not alone. PSA has got to be careful with the same boat because people are buying the PSA brand, like
Yeah,
in the grade, as
100%.
much as they're buying the card. And so I think that there's got to be that's got to be careful too when the slab becomes more important than the thing it's slabbed in, right?
And that's, and that's something that it isn't to me,
Yeah.
right? I want the slab, the grade to represent what I already know of the book. That's what I want. The question about am I going to crack this and submit it for a 9.9? No. Why? Because it's not a 9.9. It's a 9.8. I knew it was a 9.8 before it got the 9.8. It's a 9.8. I have a copy that is a 9.9, not of the error, and I have
Mm-hmm.
never slabbed it because I will not send it to have it be slapped with a 9.8. Like I literally, hopefully I don't burn all my bridges because I need to call someone and say, hey, how can I just fly over to you guys and have
Yeah.
you grade this with me, please?
Right.
Because if it's not going to be a 9.9, I don't want to ship it. I don't want to,
Right.
and it's worth
Because
it to take that
shipping
trip.
has a way of making you lose the 99. It's
It
interesting because,
certainly does. Perno, what up?
well, the slab and the grade is actually as much for the casual collector as the experienced collector.
Mm-hmm.
The casual collector, it allows them to understand what it is and have some
Yes.
confidence in it, right? It removes the question marks like we talked about
Yes.
earlier.
Yes.
And, but I think as a grader, it's important to remember that this isn't just for the casual collector. This is for the experienced collector who's much more concerned with what's in the slab and not that it's the slab that makes it valuable, right?
Right.
And it's a tough dichotomy of how do you establish brand trust, but also make sure that you don't use that brand trust too far in the other direction, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we're going to be paying attention. There's going to be a lot of new developments in this space soon, and this
Mm-hmm.
conversation is not going away anytime soon.
No, look, I mean, I feel it every day. Marvel cards is the space I exist in, right, at a high level, and I feel the fandom growing. I feel the people coming into the space, the amount of messages, and we're seeing a little bit more, not a lot, but even different walks of life get in. It's grading is important and it's not going to go away. And I think that people love the idea of having something and getting it graded and it coming back, right? Like that is an extension of the experience of the collectible. And I think it's important. I don't have to grade everything. I'm currently enjoying a binder collection of Magic cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm happy to do it. And some of them would sell for a decent amount of money if they were graded and would likely get good grades. But I'm still enjoying them in my binder.
Oh, not to just for fun. This made me think of you and a friend of mine, Alex. He great guy. He sent a bumper sticker from the
Wow.
'90s, a McFarlane Spidey bumper sticker that says Spidey Power. It's and because I think of Spidey Power, I think of Spidey Hits. Like they go together
Dude,
from 1990. Isn't that awesome?
that is so sick. And I
Yeah,
love
dude.
how it's the right Spidey image to fit in the
Right.
dimensions of the bumper without like cutting off parts of his body. It's perfect.
Yeah. So thank you, Alex Algons. I love that.
Good job, Alex.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry, just wanted to show that.
Hey, speaking of Spidey, I've got something cool I want to share,
Yeah, please.
but I've
Oh, I
got
think I
to
might know what it is.
wait. Well, I got two Spidey things I want to share. The first one,
Okay.
I want to do this so I don't forget. A friend of mine sent me this. This is Old Man Venom. You may know Old Man Venom, Joseph.
Oh, card vibe. I want to talk about that with you. I'm going to come back to
Yeah,
that comment. Yes,
coming
Joe,
back.
of course. Old man
Yeah,
Venom. Yes,
and he sent
absolutely.
me a sketch, and I've had this for a little while, so I'm a little embarrassed that I haven't shown it yet. And I
Yo,
want people to see what he's doing. Look at his background.
that's awesome. That's awesome. It's three-dimensional. It's holographic. Um,
I
this
mean,
is this is great.
this is really cool, and he did it on the mental card stock.
Ah,
So,
very
and
nice.
a lot of our people understand MiddleCon. That MiddleCon had, I believe, a really good con this past, not this weekend, but last weekend. did a lot of good, raised a lot of money, gave away a lot of
Yes.
art, sold a lot of art,
Yes.
all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. But man, just wanted to shout out Old Man Venom. Follow him on Instagram if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Joseph he's doing some interesting things here with sketch cards. That's pretty cool.
I want to carry this shout out a little further to Joe because one of those nights between the hours of I think 1 a.m. and 7 a.m., Joe and I were on MentalCon together and we got to talk a lot about this. And he's obviously been in our community for a long, long time, an incredible page, incredible collector. But this is the first time I've seen him. And I mean, he is obviously doing more and more in the space of creation. And this is the first time I've seen him do something of that. I've seen some other shiny cards, but to see the symbiote suit kind of being forcefully pulled off, like Peter is fighting against the symbiote suit, like I've never seen him do that. So that's amazing. So shout out Old Man Venom, just all around great guy, great collector, great artist, and shout out everyone that was involved in MentalCon because just like last year, they blew it out of the water. Like it's an amazingly successful event for all of the right reasons. So congrats to everyone.
Really is. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep my face on the screen for this. So give me a second. Got my hand all in the way here.
Oh, we have a DC logo in the chat. Destructive Collectors is DC. Very nice.
When did that happen? Destructive?
I don't know. Maybe he's trolling you.
No one trolls
Sean,
me.
my man. 29K was raised. I guess I missed the end number. That's amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
That's incredible. $29,000 raised in 48 hours by a group of guys that cares. Like that's amazing. Guys and gals.
Well, and a community that cares.
100%.
Big shout out to this community. It's easy for me to tout it as marvelous, in my opinion.
While you're prepping that, no, 100%. While you're prepping that, I'm going to read RMS's comment here. It said, people just need to be smarter and use grading as a tool to potentially increase value and or protection of your collectibles. But don't be loyal to any grading company. Be loyal to yourself. I love that. We could spend an hour talking about how it might not even protect the dang collectible, in terms of comic books. The cards do all right, I guess. Well, maybe they don't, but for the most part. So I agree with that comment very much. And our other friend, yes, once Justin is done showing us and sharing with us, I'm going to come back to Card Vibes.
No, let's do Card Vibes first because I'm going to be.
Oh, okay, fantastic. He said, Card Vibe said, hey, hello. I feel CGC feels they can do what they want without major repercussions because they have such a lion's share of the market. Not good business practices. And you are not wrong. Like, I agree with you. And, it is very, what's the word? It's not arrogant. I forget the word. There's another word, right? And this idea of the
it's presumptuous.
It's presumptuous because, carry on.
Yeah, it's just, first of all, I'm rooting for CGC success. I've got some really important comic books that have CGC slabs on them. I have an invested interest in CGC doing well long term. Plus, why start over necessarily? Like, I want them to do well, and I've got friends, people that I really like over there. But
hubris, you're right, Marvel
hubris,
Jester. Thank you. That was the word.
But there are forces at play that are much bigger than any company, and I mean any company. And there have been many companies that are much larger that have fallen because of hubris, presumption.
Right. And a company can come into the market and can take a nice chunk of that market share, and then they'll sweat. Right? There was a point in time where CGC didn't grade cards, and PSA was the place that you would grade cards. Of course, Beckett, of course. But then CGC began to grade cards. That same sort of scenario can unfold, and there can be competition. Oh, you said something. Oh, that's your doom. That's the doom that you did.
Yeah.
Terrific. I love that.
I'm very proud of how that turned out.
The colors are awesome too. The purple background with the green. That's sick.
That's the hardest decision I have to make when I'm doing these sketches, is because I'm not good at backgrounds. And so I'm like, what do I do the background? But I thought purple would work well with the emotion and the green.
I'm kind of scared of how good you're getting at what rate.
Oh,
because And I mean that in a good way. I mean, like, this is not something that you're not going to be doing going forward. You're going to continue to draw and create and get better and better. Like that Ghost Rider is just sick. It's just sick. It doesn't matter if someone knows that it's you. They see that. They're like, wow, that feels
Well,
really 90s and really awesome.
you're very kind. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I don't think I can show that quickly. Well, I think I can tape it to the thing I'm drawing on. So I'm working on a Spidey right now. That's where I'm at the moment.
Oh, I thought maybe you had it done. That's why I said, I think I might know. Okay.
I took my lady to dinner, and that took up a drawing time, but I hope to finish that one soon. But I'm thoroughly enjoying sketching. You know, I drew as a kid, so this is not new to me. So don't think that I just started drawing recently. I just picked drawing back up recently, and
Right.
and I want somebody to pull a sketch card of mine. That's what I want. So I want to do it. I want to get
You're
in
well on your way to having that become
and
something.
I want them to be, I want them to be like happy that they pulled it. So I haven't asked Upper Deck if I can get in the set yet because I feel like I've got more work to do in terms of progression. But right now I'm responding to the at bats, the reps. Like I feel like I'm getting better each time.
Yeah, it's I think we're seeing that as well. And I love that though. I love that you're like, you know what? I haven't reached out yet about that because let me do a little bit more first. Like
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like seriously. And part of his speed too. Like I did this one last night in probably 2 hours.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's a long time, but like Upper Deck may ask me to do a lot of them, and I don't have infinite amount of time, but so I'm working on getting faster too.
Pulling
But
Fire says,
oh no, please go.
he said your Venom sketch is amazing, Justin, and I'm not sure what he's referring to because if he's referring to the symbiote suit Spidey back there, I just want to provide some
Yes,
clarity
this
that
is
one is done.
Joseph.
Yeah, that's old
This is a
man
real
Venom.
sketch artist.
Yeah. Oh, I'll show you Justin's Venom. I own Justin's Venom. Hold on, I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could do that. And I'll tease what I want to walk through here.
Okay.
So I wanted to show these. I haven't showed these on the channel, but I think they're important. These cards came out in 2002.
Hey, I know these. These are dope. RMS knows these too. We were just talking about these. Yes.
They're super cool.
Oh, I gotta show you
Very
another thing
Spider-Man
too.
heavy.
Yeah.
And I thought it would just be fun to go through the set together.
Yes, please. One of the images in that set is this image. I'm showing a puzzle box, but obviously I have the
Yes.
poster, and our friend Black Goo put up the postcard, and I said I need one, so he sent me the link. I bought the postcard too. This image exists in that set.
So when I look at this, okay, yeah, film cell cards, and I think it's films with a Z. I can't remember. These came out again in 2002. I got married in 2002, so
Oh, wow.
was not. I mean, I was still a kid, but I wasn't collecting cards at that time. But I just think about if these had come out in like 1994, I would have just stared at these for hours as a kid. And,
Yeah. So, and I wasn't even aware of that. Oh, well, they came out in 2002, of course. Yeah. If these came out in 90, 94, 95, or anything like that,
yeah,
I would, every night I would have played with these, looked at them, shine different light through them, all of that stuff.
all of that stuff. Now, obviously, some of this art is newer.
New.
Like
Yeah.
this is the Clayton Crane.
I think that's J. Scott Campbell.
I mean, yes, I didn't mean to say Clayton Crane. Ugh,
Okay.
that's gross. Sorry.
Why you Crane on the brain? No. We got to rinse that out.
Yeah, J. Scott Campbell. But well, what I was trying to do is think about grabbing this Spidey at the same time and then say, anyways, I shouldn't have tried to do two things at once. But this articulated Spider-Man, which is my favorite, is based off of this. Oh yeah, there's the Venom.
There's Justin's Venom right there. So
I have another Venom in my brain that I'm looking forward to work on.
Nice. Very nice.
It's like a piece of food or something on my card here. Send it for grading. I don't know. I don't recognize this image. Do you?
I do not. I do not.
I
No,
wish it had the issue after a battle. He's like picking up somebody's clothes, I guess.
doesn't say anything about it, huh?
Mm-mm. Okay. See, Kazar, Shauna, Spider-Man and dinosaurs as a kid. Heck yeah.
Duh, come on. Yeah, are you kidding me? That's all my bed sheets. Well, you got to throw TMNT in there, but then you'll have it all covered.
There's your lady.
Oh yeah, awesome. This is fun. How many cards in this set? I've only looked at like 5 or 6 cards out of
It's
this
a
set.
lot. We're gonna be here for a minute.
No, it's great. It's great.
We're gonna be here for a minute. Oh, I didn't know Spidey fought one of those broods or broads or whatever they call them. Oh no, that's a Spider Slayer. It just looks like one of the X-Men villains.
Yeah, is the villain that you were thinking about, or the villains are the ones that take over the body of the X-Men? Is that the one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that
I
one Wolverine cover.
yeah, I did too, but I did not enjoy that as a kid. It was not my favorite villain.
I hear you. No, no, it's still not.
Green
Yeah.
Goblin. Look at that. It's great.
These kind of remind me of, do you remember the metal sets? No, like the actual metal sets,
Actual
right?
metal, yeah.
They came in a tin. They're actually like bent aluminum or metal or whatever the heck they are. They're kind of in that vein, like fun and great looking. I think that metal set was all Bagley, maybe the one that I'm remembering. It could be wrong. I should pull it out. We should look at that one day too. I have it
Yeah.
here somewhere.
Here we go. I haven't actually had a chance to study all this art like this, so this is nice.
Yeah.
And there's some special aspects of this set, so don't check out on me because I'm going to show you here in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. That's great. Spidey
Oh
in the
yeah,
rain.
I know that image. I love that image. I don't remember where it's from, but I love that image.
Oh, this one's fun. Look at that. How did that leg get there?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Talk about perspective. My goodness.
How does he kick around behind his head like that?
This is obviously, this is not Todd McFarlane, but that's what Todd McFarlane said. Like, you can't tell me what Spidey can do. Okay, I'm gonna have this finger over here, this foot over here, and he talks about it like different planes. Like the
Uh-huh.
art exists on multiple planes. It's so dynamic. So I love it.
Dude, I love this. I haven't seen this one. Look at those
Yeah, that's
spiders
dope.
all
Where are
around
the?
him. But
Oh yeah, okay.
I will say this: Spider-Man would not be stuck to any chair. He would easily break it or stand up.
Hey, what is Pulling Fire says, Justin, do you still have the Venom sketch that you did not too long ago with the xenomorph looking tendrils? Justin didn't do that sketch. That's from art by Jane, right?
Yeah, but I don't know that there's any tentacles. Yeah, that's not mine. Oh my gosh. I love that you might give me credit for that, but that definitely wasn't me.
Yeah, that one's dope. I mean, Justin might have it handy. I'm sure it's around somewhere.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
This is interesting because it looks like it's got holes in it.
Where do you see the holes?
Right here and here.
Oh yeah, I see a hole for sure.
But it's actually not holes. Huh.
Oh, they're not?
Yeah, there's not a hole there, but it looks like it's got holes in it.
Interesting.
Is that Electra? You think?
Yeah, that would be my guess. Yeah, you could see the TMNT
Katana?
toolage. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that. That's
Wait,
awesome.
you just have a little delay from me because I'm waiting for it to pop up. Yeah, dude. There's a poster with that image on it as well. I think, yeah, promo piece. It's a good one.
Look at Jason Christner here. What's up, man? Thank you for hanging out. He says hello from the art studio. Working on a set for Cryptozoic tonight, a sketch cover as well. That has a DC vibe to it.
Very nice. Very cool. And hello. Thank you. Pulling Fire says, my bad, my mistake. No. I love that you put it out there so that we could reflect on it and talk about it.
Okay, we got great people. Perna says Electra and the holes are for the shine effect. That makes sense. It just looks like holes in that, acetate. And then Marvel Jester says TMNT toolage are the saws. How do you say it? How do you say that?
I don't know, but I love that he
knew
caught
what you
that
were
and
talking
wrote
about.
that. Yeah, that's how I'm going to talk about it. I like the toolage. Size, say, I don't know actually.
That's cool, Spidey.
How was HeroCon? I didn't go. Did you go?
I would have loved to have gone. I couldn't make it. It was too much going on.
I hear HeroCon was great.
Size.
Size. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Size.
So
Yeah.
is it always plural?
Size. Say.
Where's my sigh? Like what if it's only one?
Hey, I used this image one time on an Instagram story. I remember that.
I think I might remember you using it. That's another Campbell, I believe. Yeah, that's Jay Scott.
This one's awesome, dude.
Yes, indeed. Is that no, is that Paolo? Who's the artist? That's Paolo Rivera?
I don't
I don't
think
know.
it doesn't tell me the artist, but
Yeah, I know.
Paulo
I shouldn't have.
Rivera, it definitely has that clean
That
illustrated art.
beautiful, yeah, that beautiful museum level painted greatness to it.
You probably do this too, but you look at the eyes. This one has a kind of Deadpool eyes. Turn it over.
Yeah. I love when people put the personality in the spacing between the black and white of the eyes. You can do so much there.
This is Hildebrandt.
Oh, yes, it is. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful epic piece. Also was a poster in the 90s that I still own my childhood copy of. I do. Yeah, I do. I still own it. I mean, it's messed up. It used to be on my wall.
Card Collector showed this is from the 2002 film sales. Or, yeah, I think it's called film sales.
Yeah, something like that. HeroesCon was great. Tons of artists, a great art collector meetup, and Marvel card table was awesome. Oh, that's Cass. I'm not confident pronouncing it, but I remember watching a live stream
Castra?
and yeah, from Original Art Fans YouTube page,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like the history of sketch cards, and it was hosted by Castra. Castra? Thank you, my friend. Yeah, thanks for being here.
Great dude.
I bought my first piece of original published art recently. I feel like that brings us closer, even though we don't even know each other. But
Is tonight the big reveal?
Oh no, I'm not ready.
Okay,
I'm not ready. I have a weird. I'm not ready.
I
just want to. It's just.
I actually understand what you're saying. Yeah. It's just sometimes it's like, hey, I might want to just keep that private.
Yeah, and I've made such a fuss out of it. What if no one else cares? I might as well just keep my fuss private. I don't know. No, I think it's beautiful. I think people will definitely agree that it's beautiful. There's no question. They may not have the same emotional connection with it that I have, but that again is why we collect what we collect.
Yeah. What's going on here with these fingers?
Oh, that's AI. Yeah, that's AI before AI. There you go. Those are interesting fingers. Ash is in the building. What up?
What's up, Ash? There we go.
Let's pray for him, Jason. I did hear, and I hope that he recovers.
All right, I got a confession for VP. Okay. One of the reasons I haven't shown this set on the channel is because VP actually has a couple of cards that I would like to have, but I can't afford right now. And I'm afraid now that I'm showing these cards on the channel, I will no longer be able to afford them for sure moving forward.
Oh, got you.
But he knows. He VP knows before anybody else knows. All right, here we go.
Yay!
Looking good.
Looking fantastic. This is a fun set for sure.
Yeah. A Spidey fan definitely put this together.
100%.
In my opinion.
100%.
It's getting torn up there.
Because it's House of Dragons night? Okay, well, don't tell everybody else that.
Well, at 9 o'clock. So I have another hour before I have to get off. So.
All right.
But I will be watching that with the lady.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm assuming it's fantastic.
You do, but you don't. So you know what Game of Thrones is.
Oh, this is a continuation of Game of Thrones. Okay, so
it's like a prequel. They went back in time, and they're telling
right.
the story of how.
Right.
Well, I don't even know how to say it well, but anyways, they're telling the
No,
story.
I think I know what this is. Like I think this is all making sense. Yeah, that is that.
It's an origin story of sorts. It's like why the dragons are not, still all around. There we go. You remember this? The Clone Saga?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. If I'm not mistaken, this was a shiny cover. Maybe I'm wrong
It
about
was
that.
no, it definitely was shiny and two-sided.
Yeah, right. Okay, yes, yes, I remember it. Big Save Cards says, "Do you guys think it would be better to auction Wolverine stuff just before or just after the movie comes out?" I mean, I always go with what I forgot
Gosh,
my line, but
what a
I would
great
do it
question.
before. I don't know that it's going to have. I don't know what's going to happen, but I would do it before. Sell the rumor. What the heck is this saying? Who cares?
Buy the rumor, sell the news. Wait,
Yes.
no, yeah, I can't remember.
When when
Follow us for more advice.
yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, that's how well we articulate things. Um, but me personally, I would go with before. I feel like once the excitement and that
Right.
that anticipation wears off, that actually affects people's buying habits as well. I think people get more excited while things are running up, and things tend to run up prior to the actual news happening. Yeah, it's buy the rumor, sell the news. That's what it is.
Buy the
Once the
rumor, sell
news
the
is
news.
announced, sell the thing.
Yeah, so I'm not saying I'm right, so please don't hear that from that place. This from that place, but Wolverine is not a rumor or news. Wolverine is Wolverine.
The movie, though.
No. Wolverine as a as a as a speculative character is
Hmm.
not new. Like
Right.
if Spider Gwen was going to get her own big production cinematic movie, we're talking $150 million budget, a year push of promotionals, released as a blockbuster summer film. I would say she still has a lot of room to grow, even though she's already popular. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Wolverine is not at that place. We're talking about Hugh Jackman Wolverine on top of that, who has 23 movies under his belt as Wolverine. So I actually think that now is not a good time to sell Wolverine because people are having the same thought that he's having.
Hmm.
I think you should hold on to Wolverine and wait for that part of the market to flood and do its thing, and then maybe sell it later when not so many Wolverine collectibles are on the market. I could be totally wrong, but that's just my personal opinion.
I think that's very reasonable.
Okay.
I think that is very reasonable. Um,
Now, if they
but
cast a new Wolverine and there's a new movie coming out, that falls more into the rumor and the news cycle, I think.
well, then let me break this question down just on a smaller scale with you. Just
Mhm.
ask you this then: if there is a hype cycle at play at the moment, would you rather before the movie's release or after the movie's release attempt to take advantage of the
I
of
think
whatever
if I was a
hype is?
gambler, which I guess I am in some ways, it's you know where are your buyers, where are your sellers, what is the behavior of them right now? Okay,
Hmm.
people right now are thinking about selling Wolverine more than they are buying Wolverine, in my opinion.
Okay.
Just and that's just for some observation that I've had, and maybe it's only my perspective. Um, and so you don't want to sell when everybody's selling. That's just that's Warren Buffett 101.
Too much supply out there.
It's too much supply, and so I think Wolverine is very important. I think Wolverine has a strong collector base. Wolverine has in the trading card space has at least one active big buyer, and that's good and bad. When I say big buyer, I mean able to spend tens of thousands of dollars as opposed to hundreds of dollars.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and 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 to me, like you would want to sell at a time when your card is, it's never going to be a loan because there's a lot of Wolverine cards, but you know what I mean. Like for whatever it is, you want it to be the only one that's out there.
Sure.
Um, and so if you're trying to maximize your dollars.
Armando's bringing up an interesting point. I don't think it ties in perfectly with this conversation, but it does tie into something that Armando said earlier. And I saw it, but we didn't touch on it. He said, also learn how to take a loss in order to make more money in the future. Basically, he's saying, sometimes you got to cut your losses. If you're just waiting for something to return back to whatever, I love this. That's so awesome.
Well, I wanted to show the border change here.
Oh, that is a border change. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, that's just great Bagley. And so what Armando's saying is like, you need to reduce the amount you're going to lose. So you don't hold to lose more. You go ahead and take the loss so you don't incur more loss.
Well, factoring in opportunity cost of, let's say, because the example he's talking about is a video that Neo recently put out, and it's a great video, and it's a story about Neo at Heroes Con looking to buy an X-Men 1. And there was a seller that had an X-Men 1 and said to Neo very clearly, hey, don't buy this copy from me. And Neo's like, that's an interesting thing to say to someone, and he turned it around, saw the price tag on it was still of 2021 era or 22, whenever it was, right? Double what it is selling for now. And so you could assume that that gentleman, the owner of the book, bought it in that market and just doesn't want to let go of it. He doesn't want to take a $5,000 loss. And the point that Neo was making and the point that Armando's making, which, sometimes you got to do it. There's opportunity cost in that 5,000, right? Sure, you would hope that it goes back to 10 and then you'll pull that money out, right? Maybe that happens 10 years from now. You could take that 5,000, buy other stuff, that you buy well, that have equity in it, has equity in it, and sell and kind of, use that money plus some effort and make that 5,000 now.
Mm-hmm.
Using the money rather than waiting for this collectible to appreciate. But it is rather interesting to not be willing to sell it, but still have it on display at a con. And, but he's being very transparent. He's like, hey, man, my price is double what they're going for. So I'll show it to you, but I don't imagine you'll buy it.
It's interesting you say that. So like money has a bit of a momentum to it. And I mentioned Dave Ramsey earlier, so I'll mention him again. If you don't know who he is, he's a financial kind of no nonsense kind of financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
But he talks about viewing money as a worker. Like you have a $1 worker, $5 worker, $10, and the money's got to be working. It's got to be making money, right? And if it's not making money, then you need to deploy it where it is making money, where it's working, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because if you don't, and I'm gonna use negative language here, if you don't, what happens is now you're a slave to the money rather than the money being a slave to you. Like it's mastering you rather than you mastering it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you have money tied up in a collectible that's rapidly losing value, and if you're not careful, like, yeah, you're now handcuffed to it, right? Like you're not the master over it anymore.
Right.
I'm holding it here because it's so cool.
No, it's great looking. It's great looking. And just to take it back to because you're right, Wolverine is Wolverine, right? The rumor isn't Wolverine, but I guess the way to correlate that saying, buy the rumor, sell the news is the rumor is the trailer to the movie. The news is the movie. Now, is there any chance that the movie's going to suck and people are going to dump all of their Wolverine stuff afterwards? Probably not. It's probably going to be a great movie. But the enthusiasm of speculating towards whether it's going to be brilliant or not is only going to last up until the release of it. But I think Justin's answer to the question is neither. Justin would prefer, or it's not about whatever he would prefer you do, but I'm just saying, Justin's saying you would just hold Wolverine longer than anything surrounding this film. Wolverine is Wolverine.
I would look at them. I don't have any Wolverine cards and I'm actively trying to like sell in that way. I think I have one on eBay, but it's been there.
Oh, that's sorry. I just saw the card that you put on.
So I'll put it back while I'm talking. But my point is I would look at what's on the market, and if there's a plethora of Wolverines on the market, then I would not want to oversaturate the supply and have mine wrapped up in the supply, because I don't think the movie is just going to have this, large notable amount of people that walk out of it and go, I think I need a Marvel trading card of Wolverine.
Sure.
Like,
it's kind of like everyone already knows that stuff.
They already know Wolverine is important. And if they know that and they like trading cards, they already know Wolverine trading cards are important. You know what I mean? Now, go ahead.
No, please.
And I'm talking about as someone who doesn't like speculate in that way all the time, so I could be wrong. But what I do think is going to really pop is I really do think Batman and Superman are going to pop in trading cards. I think those are
Oh,
going to.
dude, Batman is going to do super well. He's too cool. Did you see Big Save's latest message? He said
No,
the main item. I was about to say, if you got the rare stuff, you might as well capitalize on the hype. He's saying that he owns a PSA 10 of the Wolverines. Wait,
yeah.
Wolverine slash Cyclops? There's a card with both of them on it?
Hmm.
I only know
Oh,
the
the
one where it's
Tabusi.
Wolverine by himself, the Terabusi, yeah.
Mhm.
And I didn't even know there was a PSA 10 of the actual. I gotta see this card. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do some Googling.
Uh,
No, Black Goo, I don't think you missed the maximum card. No, you did. The one that has Spidey, Venom,
no,
and
it's coming.
Carnage jumping forward. Okay.
Well, here's the difference I think with Batman and Superman is there's a large fan base that's mature, like they collected already, they spend money on that already, right? And there's a low supply of trading
Oh, that
cards.
card is dope. Yes,
There's
yes.
there's a low supply of trading cards, and what is out there has got the name Cryptozoic on it. Like it's not a brand. It's not a brand that just invites people to spend a lot of money. I think their bread and butter is maybe autos, like from actors and actresses. But when you slap a brand that has tremendous crossover potential, like precious metal gems, here we
Mhm.
go.
There.
There it is.
That's so cool. This card is the reason I know of this set. And the person that told me about this card is Brian, Amazing Spider Guy, who just appeared on King of Collectibles. I finally, because I have Netflix, so I'm able to watch that. But I saw on episode 3,
Oh
Brian's in
no
there.
no
And
no no no! No.
oh, bro.
I've watched episode 2. I haven't seen episode 3, and I don't want you to ruin it for me.
Okay, no ruining. So
Thank you.
he's on the show. That's amazing. Big cards. He's the one that told me about this card maybe 2 years ago. He was like, "Oh, you love that image? Did you know there's a card?" And I went to eBay and bought it immediately. So shout out Brian, Amazing Spider Guy. That's awesome.
What is going on here?
Yes, I do. Card vibe, I do. I've thought that before any of this stuff because
Whoa.
that's the first, Batman card and stuff is in there, and it's beautiful.
It
So
it
yes,
is. It
yeah.
is, but there's what happens is like, you know what? I know Batman trading cards exist, but I'm not into it, right? And then all of a sudden the new thing that everybody else is jumping in is happening. Well, now I'm into it. And then you start going, well, now I need the old stuff too. Like you
Yeah.
work backwards to that a lot of times. But I think because of the amount of collectors there are out there of DC and the fact that there is a scarcity of trading cards that have brand trust with on it, where right now let's use Spider-Man as the example, right?
Okay.
I get a precious metal gem in 2013, 2015, 2017, and in 2021 Spider-Man metal, and I'm about to get it again in Avengers metal. So that's 5 different sets, and you had 4 different PMGs in 2021. I don't know how many there'll be in Avengers metal, but I would suspect at least 2. So the opportunity to get a Spider-Man PMG exists at a decent scale. They're not, available everywhere all the time, but they're out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't exist to Batman at all. So this is
Right.
it. Like this is the first one. And oh God, what am I doing? Hyping up DC. But
I'm
it's
telling you,
true.
DC box party.
It's you're just not going to be able to deny it, in my opinion. And people are going to be excited about it. And the thing is, it's the only place you're going to get one. There's not another set that has it. And so I would tell you, be very careful early in DC because I think there are going to be some prices for some of those cards that they're gonna kind of Marvel. They're gonna eat Marvel for lunch, in my opinion, for a few of them. And it's because of how many is going to be available. And now
Mm-hmm.
you wake up 5 or 6 years from now and they pump out those sets every year. You got to be careful what you pay for those early.
Yeah, and I wish I would have bit the bullet on many more 66 cards before. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have that Batman card. I wish I did in any grade, quite frankly. And there's still plenty of time to grab one, but Yeah, enthusiasm is going to enter that space, and things are going to get bought up.
Yep.
If Upper Deck does a Superman set, Perna is asking, I hope they change the PMG cards to kryptonite cards, green kryptonite, blue kryptonite, and so on. It's pretty cool, actually.
I like the idea. I think they need to do that, but not in metal. I think they need to do that, but not. They're definitely going to do something like that. But here's your Maximum Carnage.
Oh, literal Maximum Carnage card. Awesome. Very cool.
That's cool. Have we gotten that image on any other trading card?
Yes, in fact, RMS had it. It's from a TCG game. It's the face of Maximum Carnage, and it's not with him anymore. But somehow it ended up on eBay and did RMS have it? I don't even know. He'll correct me. But it did just sell on eBay, the PSA 10 of the TCG version of that image.
What did it go with? I mean, what did it go for?
Not enough. $91 or something, like $101 or $91, something of that sort. But who was looking for it? You would, again, exposure. Who knew that card even existed to be looking for it?
Exposure is such a huge element of value. I mean, there's stuff out there that would have value if people knew about it, and you and I don't know about it. Like,
right, 100%.
But if you and I stumbled on it and we understood the narrative, that's the right word, by the way, and that narrative was exposed and the item was exposed, then people go, oh, I want one too. And all of a sudden value is at play, whether it's intrinsic value. That's not the question.
Right. 100%. Right.
It's I want it and I want it now. And so does 18 other people. And I have to outbid them.
RMS says it's called Marvel Recharge, and the Venom image is also on there as well from the Maximum Carnage cover. And he says he still has one. And speaking of exposure, I would like someone to make a PSA 10 of this, please, so that I can buy it. I'm going to attempt to make it. And I've been stacking up the books. These come within the book of the same title. It's Spider-Man's first hardcover. These come inside that, but they're very difficult and high grade. They come chewed up.
But
this is obviously my childhood copy, but
you can't just send it to CGC and get a 9.5?
Wait, hold on. You just confused the heck out of me. They don't do 9.5s anymore.
Okay. I'm sorry. I still have my blue labels. A 10?
Why would I want to send it to CGC? I want a PSA 10. I was like, what is Justin throwing at me right now? I don't want to CGC this. I want a PSA this. That's funny. Yes. Yeah. Oh, not Justin. That was actually like, you were actually getting into some hardcore, like, fun stuff in the industry. What Justin is saying is that it's been talked about recently that CGC is giving out loose 10s. And let me tell you, I've seen a few of them. And sometimes it certainly sounds like the people are right. But you know how grading goes. It is what it is.
Here we go. Not the first time we've seen this on a card.
I have the Canvas 10 right here.
Yes.
Wow. Somewhere right here. But yes, love that. That is the Canvas from 1995 Spider-Man Premiere, I think.
Oh yeah, 95. Yep.
Yeah. Great card.
Look at this.
Oh, that's nice. 252.
Don't you I kind of like how they turn the comic book rather than doing it.
I noticed it slanted. Did you take a liking to the Venom homages that came out recently, homaging all of our favorite covers, including 252 and Web of Spider-Man 1, and even now I'm finding out Amazing Spider-Man 1. Did you like how they did those, or are you aware of those?
I don't think I'm aware of them. Not on purpose, anyways.
I'll show you because I think they're cool to look at. I have both.
I'm just going to keep going through these because they're cool.
Yeah.
It needs to have a different border. Here's the AF-15. Looks great.
You own an AF-15.
Do you know I actually haven't shown it on the channel? I think maybe I put up a short, but
really, I can't believe you haven't pulled that out on the channel. That's wild.
Well, we've been, when I've been live recently, it's not been in this setting. It's been like doing a box break.
Oh, that's right. So really quickly, these are the books that I'm talking about. So this would be the 252 homage, where they just put Venom in there, and it's dope. It's Philip Tan. Philip Tan does an amazing Spidey, amazing Venom. And then this one.
Oh, that actually is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It's cool, right?
I wish I thought of that.
And I was just on eBay, and I noticed that there's a promotional poster of this image. It's huge, that was given to comic book stores, and the comic book stores are selling them. It comes folded, and they were selling them for like $5, $10. So I bought a few of them, and I love that on the barcode on the poster, it literally says $0, not for sale. Like, I just love stuff like that, but $6, why not?
If Norm was here, he would tell you not for sale is really important.
You know what? Let's give away one of those posters if someone wants it. I'd be happy to do a giveaway. And yeah,
what we do? Hashtag the boys are back.
If everyone's going to be willing to write all that out, then yes, absolutely. So this is the poster, right? And there's the barcode for it. And the barcode literally says Venom Separation Anxiety #1 poster promo, $0. And what it is a huge version of this. Justin to make it big in a second. I think he's getting the
I will.
the hashtag going. I think
it's important for me to get the StreamYard.
Yeah, let's give a poster away. Posters are dope.
And the reason I said hashtag the boys are back is that's what people said when they were.
I love it. I want that to be the hashtag. I hope everyone does it. I love that. And it ships anywhere in the world, so
Start collecting. The entries are coming
Soul
in.
says MJ311. I love that. He doesn't even own it anymore. He did well selling it. I'm happy. So the poster for this exact one, maybe it's going to be one of the other ones. I bought a few. I don't know. But this poster, it's folded, it's huge, and it is of this hashtag, the boys are back.
That's a great poster.
It's so cool.
Yeah, we'll let that. Cool. We'll let that run.
I'm entering.
Very good. Yeah, get your entry in. Hashtag the boys are back. And I'm almost done showing off this set, but I haven't even told you about the best part. You may already know, but we'll get to it in a moment.
I don't think I know.
By the way,
I think you're going to surprise me.
You didn't know this was the next card?
No, I had no idea. Wow, that's amazing. That is perfect.
That's
perfect.
That's cool.
What a great art. I love that thing. That's so cool.
Yep. Very cool.
Oh, yes. Mr. Brody. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. So that's just the full base set. Okay. But there are inserts in this set. And
all right. Now you're going to surprise me. I did not know.
Yeah. Artist autos.
What?
Which include J. Scott Campbell.
That's John Romita Jr. Wow.
Yep. And Stan Lee. And they are serial numbered.
Out of what?
150.
Even the Stan has 150?
Stan has 250.
No way.
Yeah. So this is serial numbered on card autos. Oh, this is why I didn't want to, because I still don't have the J. Scott Campbell or the Stan Lee. But let's see if I can pull up the checklist to give you all the artists. So give me a second here.
The boys are back. Giveaway, please.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Everyone get them in there. Thank you. Sean said, I'd write whatever for that, my man. I appreciate that. Soul says, hashtag Manu. I love you. Perna says, hashtag KFC. Vegan KFC? Give it a shot. Soul also says 94mm. Got to get that box open. We got to see that happen. The Walmart one.
Why was I thinking I thought I saw it opened?
No, he hasn't opened it yet.
Someone was opening a 94 Masterpiece box, I thought, on MentalCon.
The Walmart one?
Oh, no, it wasn't the Walmart one.
That's the Walmart one is for the bronze hollow foils. Those are scarce in grade. And there's a bunch of awesome cards in that set in general, but that's for the bronze hollow foils. I think they were called hollow foils. Yeah. So do you have one of the Stan Lee ones to show us?
No, I wish I did, but what I'm doing is I'm looking for a checklist. Sorry. So this is taking me a second.
That's awesome, though. I did not know that.
We'll go to eBay in a minute and see if we can find some.
What else should we give away?
All right. So we'll go. We'll do this. Let me hit share screen.
Oh, and RMS gave me this book. This came as a part of a care package from RMS. So thank you. That's awesome. I love
By
that.
the way, yeah, RMS is the best.
He's the best. Dude, you
If
have no idea. Oh, yeah. I
he
mean, you
will
do.
no he needs his flowers.
He sent me some other stuff too. Like, did you know I knew about these, but I never had them. The soda cans that Funko put out, because soda pop, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And he sent two of them. He sent the Carnage one and the Venom one, and I opened them. Look how dude,
Oh, that is cool.
they're amazing. There's chase versions of these as well, but these are. I mean, we were hoping to get them. That would have been fun. But these look fantastic. So these will forever live on my desk. They're adorable.
Yeah.
They're great. Thank
There you
you,
go.
Ryan.
Not that you needed help thinking about RMS, but there you go. He's the
Right.
best.
Right.
All right. If you find a sealed box of these, please let me send you a StreamYard link and let's open it together on the channel. I've yet to be able to find one. I've looked. But according to this, it says that the 2002 Art Box Spider-Man film cards with a Z is 72 card set size with 5 cards per pack, 24 packs per box. And it gives, an example of one here. This is our checklist. We're going to scroll through it because we just looked at all these cards.
Soul, send on IG, please, my other phone.
The autograph checklist has 11 cards and they're 1 in 18 packs. The Lee distributed as a case topper, not in the packs. So the Stan Lee, according to this, the Stan Lee cards were case toppers, which means there were 250 cases. So that gives us our print run. There's John Romita. The Charles Vess has 150. That's of the cover that you saw earlier. Glenn Fabry has 150. John Romita Jr. 150. John Romita Sr. 150. Kerry Andrews 150. Mark Buckingham, who I don't know, 150. Mark Bagley, who we do know, 150. Mike Waringro, 150. Ron Frentz, J. Scott Campbell, and Stan Lee. Stan Lee's up 500. Sorry.
Yeah, and actually, Soul,
500.
that's what Soul sent me. Soul sent me a picture of the Stanley one and the back, and it says out of 500.
Out of 500. My apologies.
So there were 500 cases.
500 cases. That is correct.
That's awesome.
All right. There's something called rare checklist, 6 cards. And they're blue. I don't think I had those. Did I have these?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Nice.
Oh, that includes the Maximum Carnage.
Oh, very nice. So these are basically like the short print version out of the set?
I guess so. Set was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
If that's correct. Wait, no, that may not be correct. Hold on. Nope, that's not correct. I'm sorry. They're blue, but they're not that same border.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for that border. I may not have those. Oh, man.
And thank you for that, Soul. Appreciate it. Speaking of Brian, Amazing Spider Guy, I don't know if he's watching the stream. He just sent me a text about something else.
Oh, that's this.
DM?
This is the ultra rare.
I'm waiting for it to pop. Oh, it's actually foiled?
Yes. And oh man, you know this art. I'm trying to think of the guy's name.
Yeah, I definitely know this art.
I can't think of it.
Wait, isn't this also? No, I don't want to say it, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous.
We know the guy's name. We just can't think of it right now.
Wait, when? Yeah, of course.
And then there's 5 promo cards as well. So,
because what I feel like saying is stupid, so I'm not going to say it. I want to.
He's French.
That's Delato?
No, not the one we were just looking at. Is not Delato. He's Mobius. There we go. That's what I was trying to
yeah. I wouldn't have gotten that name. I just know that cover very much. Yeah. I mean, it's really good looking.
So I'm putting that checklist we were just reading in the comments. And again, VP, I still hope I can get some of these from you, but maybe
you
not.
guys will work it out. You guys will work it out.
Well, no, he is very much a willing partner. I haven't been the willing partner just because I've been in the magic mode.
I just got a nice message from a friend. I appreciate that. I don't know if you're watching, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that was awesome because no one has, broken down that set. I had no idea that there were signed copies of those cards or any of that other additional stuff in the checklist. So that's really fun. I do want to. You didn't happen to put up a picture of a sealed box or anything, did you? Because I'm curious to know what that looks like.
Was there one at the top of the checklist? Hold on, I think maybe so. The answer is yes. I'll put it back up for you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, you're good. Oh, a sealed box of this would be so much fun to open.
Yeah, it would. It would. So, is there an actual thing to look at them through? Is there like one of those slidey, swipey?
To be used with the official something or another.
There you go.
At the bottom right here. Yeah, we need one of those films. Those film viewers.
Oh, film cards, Z on cards. Oh,
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Let's go to eBay.
Let's go.
Let's see what's on eBay.
Oh, did you see that I bought a sealed Pogs box?
No, are we opening it?
McFarlane Pogs. I mean, one day we can. Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I don't know why. I was really just wanting to rip into it. But look at that, Pogs. And they spelled packs wrong, but it's 36 packs, and they left the K out. You have 4 authentic Pogs, 1 milk caps, and 1 WPF Kinney Slammer. This is dope. 36 packs of Pogs.
That is dope. Perna called it a light box.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Here's eBay. I haven't sorted. I just put 2002 art box Spider-Man film sales. And
I'm so dehydrated. My lips
drink the water. We got PSA 9s listed here for 100. I would tell you if we see a 10, I would tell you that I don't think there's gonna be a lot of them based on my little experience with these cards. But
let's buy a card. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right.
But because because the film sits in the card, you actually have the edge around the edge of the card, and then you have the edge around the film. So there's actually a lot of edges. So you got to be careful if they grade it correctly. So PSA 9 for $30. I'm just curious if there's an auto. PSA 8 for 25. We need to look for one of the rares.
Oh, Selmo says, hello from Korea. Welcome. Thank you. Marvel Cards 101 says, there is an official binder for the set, FYI. Wow.
Here's the J. Scott Campbell auto.
Oh, there it is.
For $429.79. Oops. There's the back of it. You can see it's card number, it looks like 15 out of 150. And it looks like it's in a box with other cards. Here are the rares, I think. Yeah, there's the 3 rares with the Mobius.
Oh wait, I'm missing it.
Oh, you get the wasn't that like the well, they made that a zombie cover, I know, at one time. But what is this up here? Is something? Oh, he wrote 3 ultra rare set.
Oh, okay.
And then there are the packs in here. So this actually is the entire set with an auto for $427.
And the amount of cards in an entire set was 100?
It was 75 plus the rares and the ultra rares plus this auto.
Okay. I'm going to be traveling the sold section really quickly. I see that a set 1 through 72 plus UR1, UR3 chase set sold for, it's a best offer. I got to check. I'll check. But it was 214. It actually doesn't say best offer, but they might have sent an offer. So I'm going to check what that sold for.
So here is a promo sealed box.
Ooh.
So
right.
2002 Marvel Spider-Man film cards viewer card pack and promo card art sealed for $153.
Guys, hashtag the boys are back, sending you a big poster of this, not the book, the promo poster of this book. Boys are back hashtag.
Just the J. Scott Campbell card. I'm curious if it's the same one. Now this is number 11 out of 150 for $268. Oh, here's an uncut sheet.
Ooh, whoa! How are there
And
uncut sheets of this?
it has your Spider-Man that you like.
So I don't see what you're looking at. I think you're on a different page, and for the last couple of minutes,
Oh,
your screen hasn't been moving. So I do apologize.
yeah, no, it's not you. It's you know how eBay does the
When you open up a new tab, it
sorry
gets out of there.
everyone. I should have been sharing that with you. But let me
Because I was, yeah, and I'm over here on 130 point trying to find out how much that set sold
all right,
for real
I want to
quick.
share the uncut sheet. But look, it's got your card.
Nice.
$300 for an uncut sheet. It's only 9
How
of the
cool.
cards.
That's so expensive. I mean, I don't know if it's I mean, it hits me in the face like, dang, I'm not gonna buy that for that much.
Yeah, it's cool, but it does have to make an offer.
Yeah, it certainly does. And there's probably not too many of them floating around. Like that's very cool. I mean, at the moment there aren't. After this stream, I don't know what Justin has done now, but
Oh, nothing. All right, here's okay. This is $8,500. Okay, so let's see what this is.
oh yeah, let's see what that is.
Let me get to it. This it? Let me close all these other screens. I'm getting there, friends. Oh, we only have 30,
that's huh?
sorry, we don't have 36 entries. We need to get our entries in.
Oh man, well, odds are good for someone. That apparently that set sold for $214.99. Very good to know.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's $8,500 from Cards of Joy trading cards. 100% positive reviews with 4,400 sales. Here's all the autos.
Wow.
So I'm trying to zoom here. So you got your Charles Vess, your Glenn
Oh, I kind
Fabry.
of need that.
You got the John Romita Jr. This one is, can't read that name. Can you? Mark Buckingham. We got Carrie Andrews. I love how she gave you a little, I think that's a she. Forgive me if it's not. Little Spider-Man face by the auto. Little remark.
Oh yeah, yeah. A couple of hearts back there, maybe. I
Yeah,
can't
that's
tell.
what
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're getting there. Great art on that card too. You get the John Romita. Everybody knows him, senior. And you get the Mark Bagley, Mike Waringro, Ron Frentz.
There wasn't a McFarlane, was there?
Nope. And
No.
here's the Stan Lee, and you get it on an AF-15 image.
That's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Why is it that Zoom is not going
Isn't
well?
it wild that there's 500 of those floating around, and until now I had never seen it.
Yeah, it is wild. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think there's probably people like me who are like still wanting to get their copy of it.
Sure,
But
yeah.
the people who have been around in the hobby have known about this and they've been eating them up for a long time.
Secrets.
Ooh,
I love it.
there's
It's
a
good
there's
stuff.
a better picture. It's not
That's
a perfect
terrific.
auto, but it's good.
And what number is that one? Did he show the back of it?
That's a good question. Let's see if we can get to it. I would hope so if he wants you to pay 8,500. Yeah, he does have the backs. So let's get to it. What number do you want to see?
I would love to see number 99.
Did I skip it? There it is. Is that number 86? Yeah, 86.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
62 would have been cool.
Oh yeah, 62, the year of the book.
Yeah. So it looks like maybe just all of this is just the sketch card or just the autos. I don't know. I was thinking it was a full set. Okay. Here we got a grade of 5. Got a PSA 8 with an auto for John Romita. They want, oh, you're not seeing this. Hold on, let me pull it up. Oh, you're showing your book.
I just want people to know where the card is. The card is right there. That's where the card lives, on the inside of this book.
Awesome. All right, here we have a PSA 8 with a 9 auto of John Romita for $2,500. That feels
PSA
expensive.
8 with an auto 9. Okay.
Yeah, feels expensive.
Yeah.
But it looks like the singles here, we see $6,
Marvel Madness.
$5. Okay, here's another Stanley auto. This one's number 371 out of 500 for $1,100.
Shoot, that doesn't even sound crazy to me. But what do I know?
I think a good Stan Lee, just unnumbered, is $600 trading card wise.
Yeah.
So when you add the fact that it's on an AF-15 and serial numbered and from 2002, I think it does increase its value. Do you get to 1,100? I don't think so. That's why it hasn't sold yet.
Mm-hmm.
But could it get to 900? Probably.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds reasonable. This is a cool card. I don't even know what I've just found.
So
2002.
Oh, go ahead. No, I want you to do yours first.
Oh no, there's a Josh. There's a card here. 2002 Topps Marvel Spider-Man movie hologram H1. I've just never seen this card, I don't think. And it says collect all 5 Spidey hologram cards. Were these movie promo Spidey hologram cards?
It sounds like it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, there's something new.
All right. We'll get to Josh's comment here. He says, just posted a video of Jeff Wilson getting his first 2 Marvel cards in a deal he made with Lootbox TV. What are your thoughts, Manu and Justin? Is Deadpool Wolverine sparking a new fire for Marvel cards?
Gosh, I wish I would have seen that video. I haven't seen that video yet. Just posted video. Oh, I guess it's on Marvel Madness's channel then.
Yeah.
Or
Lootbox probably posted it, and then Josh posted that video.
Got it. And what did it say? It said his first 2 Marvel cards and deal he made with Lootbox. That's so cool. What are your thoughts, Manu and Justin? Is Deadpool and Wolverine sparking? I mean, it's not a bad thing that there's a movie coming out. But I don't know that the Wolverine Deadpool movie is necessarily the reason for that deal having taken place, but it's certainly not taking away from the deal taking place. But I want to watch the video though.
Yeah. I know both Jeff and Lou Box, and I would say that as someone who has been clickbaited by Jeff in the past related to Marvel cards, Jeff is a very thoughtful human. Everything he does is with intention. And my guess is, having not seen the video, is that Lou Box is probably the one who, initiated it. But I would be more impressed if Jeff's kids bought Marvel cards and the video was made of that.
That'd be nice.
I think that if Jeff is buying Marvel cards, that means it's probably not because he has an interest in it. It's probably because he has an interest in others having an interest in it and going to his site, which he's a businessman. I'm not mad at him. Like he has an obligation to, make a profit. I'm not, I don't get mad when people do that. Do I think the Wolverine versus Deadpool are going to spark interest? Here's about that. So when Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Far From Home was the 3rd installment. It came out in December of 2021. The week that it came out, a red PMG Spider-Man from 2013, Flair Retro, sold for $70,000.
Okay.
Up until that point, the highest sale ever of a PMG was one that was out of 10 for 32 or 36, and a 1 of 1 sold for 28 at that point in time.
Okay.
You could have regularly bought a red PMG before then from 2013, likely for around $2,000. Okay. The movie created the opportunity for the pump.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the same as saying the movie created the hype for that then?
Well, no, because I would hold that to be authentic.
Oh, okay.
Example, um, and this is the only one I have in mind right now, so forgive me. The night I went and saw Titanic as a kid, I didn't know what Titanic was. Like
Right.
beyond
Okay.
maybe like I think it's a boat that sunk. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Sure.
When I left that movie, you could have put a Titanic artifact in front of me, and I've been like, "Wow, that thing's valuable." The
Our guy
movie
last pack
created
magic. Great.
the movie created the hype, and that movie grew authentically in popularity. If you remember, like if you went and saw it, it was probably 8 weeks after it released because it was a slow burn. Like it built up in popularity. It
I
didn't come
watched
out
that
with
movie
fanfare.
twice with my
Yeah,
parents in the movie theater.
as a kid, you sat there for 3 hours. It was unheard of, right?
It was incredible though.
It was
Didn't
incredible. And
incredible.
so this is not the same thing. This movie, this movie is already breaking like pre-release box office records
Very
because
good.
there is a pent-up desire to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on the screen together. And there's
Certainly.
not a ton of Marvel cinematic movies being released this year. Disney
Sure.
is Marvel Studios is touting this as the only release this year. And
We can all
so,
oh yeah,
oh,
please.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we could all agree that it doesn't hurt. Like this is a great thing happening for Marvel, no question.
Well, I'm kind of that's the current real context as we know it.
Mhm.
But there is a chance that this movie blows everybody's socks off and it outperforms expectations.
Mhm.
And if that happens, then yes, I do think it has an impact. It's tough to bet on Disney doing that right now because they
Okay.
have a current track record over the last 3 years of not meeting expectations.
Let's fill in some of the gaps here because some of our friends provided some more insight into what we're talking about. And I love what Run It Back said. Run It Back said, I would be more impressed if Jeff stocked Marvel cards at Cards HQ. I am shocked that he doesn't. That's a tough thing for me to be reading. The amount of space he has there, I thought he did.
I will tell you that's because it's actually that hard to get Marvel cards.
There you go. Case in point. Pun intended, I suppose, as well, because I said case. I don't know. But and then Joshua has added about that trade that happened. They were Deadpool PMGs. And so to that, my question is,
Oh, then I probably sold that to Loot Box.
that's fantastic. And so my question about that is there was a point in time, much like everything that we think is cool, a few years ago was selling for great premiums, right? So when we talk about something, the excitement re-entering something, are we talking about potentially getting back to 2021 prices, or have we all wrote those prices off?
That is a money supply issue.
Okay.
I don't know about you, and I can't speak for everybody else here, but my income is not where it was in 2020 and 2021, but my expenses are up.
Okay.
And I think that probably rings true more than it doesn't.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
However you get money, you probably have not as, even if you have the same amount, things cost more. And
Things do cost more, correct.
so your own personal money supply to be able to apply towards collectibles is lower. And so I think that's actually going to be the bigger impact. There's enough people who want to play in this space for values to be stupid. There's not in my opinion, there's not enough money to see 2021 numbers.
I think that's reasonable. Interglobal, what's up, my man? He came in and he said he got them in a trade. It happened a month ago, and I think Marvel Madness seconded that. He said, "Oh yeah, I just pulled some footage from a trade did with Gin and Juice." I mean, those are their names. I still get a
Yeah,
kick out of
it is.
saying it though. From a card show trade night, very cool. I look forward to watching the video, and hopefully Jeff is going to be selling them for a profit, and that'd be great. I'd be
Yeah.
happy to hear that.
Big Say says, didn't the COVID boom also play into that price? Yes, that was the
Yeah.
money supply, but also the attention span because people were not vacationing, active in sports, things like that. So they were shopping.
Right, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. You know, the expensive dinners are back on people's menu, you know?
100. Yes. I just
And
went and had a very two-person dinner. Like you can't, it's $50 to $100, like to
yeah,
take my wife
yeah.
out there.
And during
Yeah.
pandemic, we were just simply not
No,
doing
no,
that.
we're not doing it.
It
We
was
had it
all
home every night.
groceries all the
Yeah,
time. Exactly.
yeah.
We saved so much money for 2 years. Unless we were buying collectibles, then they all just went somewhere else. But still, people saved a ton.
Mhm. And so I think, look, here's what I do think, and I'm
Oh,
speaking from
nice
Marvel
big
trading cards,
save. That's dope.
is I think that we do have a stronger foundation of collectors now than we did in 2021. We have people that have a genuine interest in the cars themselves, not simply into turning them for profit.
Yep.
And and you know me as well as anybody in this space. Um, I have wanted to focus on what I would call the true fans, and I think of it as like a foundation. If you're going to
Hmm.
build anything, it's got to have a good foundation. You could build the Taj Mahal, but if you build it on sand, it just like falls apart, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so my view of the channel, the content and the community has been foundation building, which is hard. To do it well, it takes time, it takes effort. It's not easy. Because I could do, I flipped this card. I turned 5,000 into 30,000 with Marvel cards. Let me teach you how to do it video, right?
Right.
Like, and it would get a lot of views and we create, but they'd be flash in the pan views.
Yeah.
It'd be, how can I make money view? It'd be that. And there's nothing wrong with making money. I'm pro make money.
Making
Please don't
money's
do
great. Yeah.
that. And I do think there will be a time where those conversations are more needed, but Marvel cards as a whole needs to have that solid foundation of core collectors who are not going anywhere because prices go up or down.
And I love that you bring that up. I could not agree with you more. And I mean, simply the people that are here right now are not
Mhm.
here because everything's a headline record breaking
Right.
price. They're here because they love Marvel cards. And that is the
100%.
foundation we're building. How many people have we seen? And we've talked about this because it's
Mhm.
absolutely the truth. How many people have we seen that were here in 2021? They are not anymore because the excitement that brought them here at the moment is not here. And
Yeah.
that excitement, I got nothing against it. It was exciting. But I love to say that the people that are here right now, and this is if you choose to, this not might not be the reason you're buying anything, might not even be one of the reasons you're buying anything.
Mhm.
But the people that are here right now that are going to see this through because you love collecting, maybe 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, a different boom for a different reason happens. Well,
Mhm.
the foundation is going to be in the position to profit should they choose to.
Should they choose to, and it's going to be, look, there's a phrase that I often think about, and it's a crisis of belief, right? It's a crisis of faith.
Hmm.
Like, it's this conflict that happens. It's like, man, I'm holding a Stanley Auto numbered to 150. I never thought I would have this in my collection, and I love it.
Yeah,
And then someone offers you 4x what you paid for,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and then you're like, well, 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 what do I do, right?
Selling it does not mean you are not a real collector. I am of that belief.
Well, I'm not even trying to go there because I
No,
think
no,
that's
I
an
know.
important conversation. I'm just like, just to own, like, imagine you and I don't know how to live in this world. Imagine being a collector and no one knows what you do or don't
Mhm.
do.
Yeah, we do not know how to live in that world. Yeah,
it's
that, yeah.
it sounds blissful now that I think about it. And kudos to you who exist in that space. But I'm talking about that person. They have to, they like, I talked to one this weekend where they are a collector. Like, seriously, they collect one thing, they collect that thing, and they only go after that thing. And then someone offered them 4 times what they paid for it. And they
One
reached out to
second,
me.
run it back is leaving. I just want to say good night. Congratulations on the painting. It's beautiful. Thank you for hanging out with us. And should you win the giveaway, I'm gonna DM you and let you know.
Yeah. Hashtag the boys are back.
Yeah,
Jason, I love you. You and your family, man. Have a good night.
absolutely. So sorry,
Yes,
not to
but
cut
the,
you off.
the crisis was like, hey, I'm being offered this amount of money for this thing, and like, should I sell it? And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you should, because I'm aware of other things that they want that cost money, and it's not like it would be the end of the world, but it's like, it's okay, like, it's okay to do that. And I think that's going to be the struggle if the hobby was to grow again, like, just half the size it is now, right?
Hmm.
And prices have pressure on them. There are going to be people who have to deal with that kind of crisis of belief, and and I think that's okay. I think there's for me, and I'm saying this for me, and remember, I'm someone who went to 7 different schools in by the time I was in the 9th grade. I'm used to evolving and changing. I will not stay the same. The Justin you know today, you will, Lord willing, will not know next year. Like and I mean that in my activities, not in who I am as a person.
Right.
And you've experienced that. Like you didn't know when we met, I'd start doing ballet and dancing. But here I am.
I did not know that, and here you are indeed.
And won an award
A
last week.
professional in that space. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so I don't like, I'm excited about that change in my life. And what I'm saying is I can't go around having judgment of myself when it's time to evolve. And I can't let that have shame wrapped around it. Because if you let shame impact your decision making, then it impacts performance in your life. And I think from a collecting standpoint, like it's healthy to be at a place where, hey, I don't have to judge it. If it's right for me, it's right for me. Go.
I agree. I mean, Interglobal is bringing up a personal situation for him. He said, I'm not selling my Stanley auto for a while. There are certain Stan autos that are super hard to find. Sure, he signed a lot, but the rare stuff he signs are few and far between, just my opinion. And I agree with that opinion. And I'm going to share something with you that I recently did where I have my regrets about this. But the reasons that I also feel good about selling it is because I know the collector that it went to, right? These other sort of like parts of the equation that make you still feel like, well, I can still look at that piece if I want to, I can call my friend and be like, hey, or maybe even later down the line, buy it back if, it's a trade,
Manu, you can't, for me, and I hang on to this because I want it to be true. So it's true for me. That thing is history includes you. Its provenance includes Manu. No one can ever change that.
Nope. And I am of that. Like I've said, yes, it just because it leaves my collection does not mean it actually leaves me. I'm a part of it. I'm a part of hunting it, sometimes a part of grading it, so on and so forth. And I like to use this illustration of it is, if it's in the same room with me, that's where it is. And if it goes to a different state or a different country, well, all I have to do is pull my zoom very far out so I could look at planet Earth as my room and look at that. We're still in the same room together.
Yep.
And so there was a book, but I sold it for $950, I believe it was. I think it was $950, but I paid $225 for it, right? Whoever made it available totally undervalued this book. Check this out. It's one of 10 9.8s of this book with a Stanley signature.
Wow.
And it's got the, I don't want to say what it is because I feel bad that I sold it. It doesn't matter. But right now there is a CGC 9 of it at auction, and it's already well above $225, and that's a CGC 9. See, that person auctioned the book, allowed the market to decide how cool this thing was. The other person just put it up for $225, and I saw it, and I thought, if this is nonsense, obviously eBay will take care of me, and I'll return whatever they ship me, but I have to buy this. Bought the book, I'm super proud of it, spoke about it. I don't think I ended up posting that one, but in my stories I have. And a friend of mine said, hey, Manu, I can't stop thinking. I have the blue label. You've got one of the 10 Stan Lee signed ones. Can we make it happen? And he knew that I was making 4X on 4 to 5X almost. He knew, but he also knew that was the right price for the book. Like, why would I sell it for 400, 500? Why? Right. And so I made the decision to sell it because I love 400% profit. It makes me feel good.
As it should. And that means you have a good eye. And you also got rewarded for the work that you put in for the research of knowing what that was. And that's worth something. I want to respond to Interglobal. I wanted to say one thing. I totally love that. I love that he's aware of that. He's like, it'll be a while. For some people, a while has already occurred. Like this is a while.
Right. Exactly. Everyone's in a different place with their relationship to whatever item they've had or just got, so on and so forth. What is Scooter saying here? Scooter, what's up? He said, I just got oh, wait, you're on a different topic.
Well, I was just going to recognize Brandon's comment. He says, my Topps Obama rookie, no full error stamp, has to be a one of a kind. I didn't know there was, I think I've seen the rookie. I didn't know that it had an error. That's kind of cool.
That is really cool. Oh, that makes me want to talk about something. We have to actually. I know that you have. Are you already late for your show? I thought you said your show starts at 9.
It does. Let's do no more than 10 minutes.
Okay, you got it. 10 minutes, we're going to hit some things.
Because we got to do the giveaway too.
Oh, we have to do that as well. So I just got a free box of Marvel Metal cards, 94 set and all 95 sets. I didn't know what was in plastic cover if cards until I opened them. Holy moly. Oh, nice. Very nice. Congrats. I thought you were talking about like a sealed box. You mean you got someone's collection and it's got a bunch of 90s cards in it.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. 95 metal. And then there was other 94 cards.
Right, because there's no 94 metal for Marvel.
If there was, I would love to see a photo.
Right, yeah. So really quickly, we'll just touch on this. It's everybody should be aware, even if you're not involved in sports cards, but we do talk PMGs. The gentleman that did this also started his own YouTube channel just to document this, and it's called the Fake PMG Saga. That's what the videos are called, or the channel is called. There's 5 videos. So, international buyer, collector in, I do not remember the country. I don't want to say the country and get it wrong because then I just feel like I'm an idiot. International buyer sees this card going at auction. He's leaving for work. He wants to buy it. He puts in a bid of $30K. He ends up winning the card for $23,000. Okay. Now, this is not an inexpensive card.
Is this a sports
Michael
card?
Jordan sports? Yeah, it's a Michael Jordan PMG.
I've seen the images of this card. Oh my god!
Right, red. It doesn't say PMG on it. Okay,
it's graded though, right?
It's graded. It's graded. Yeah. Beckett encapsulated it and wrote on the encapsulation, Jordan PMG altered. Right. So altered could mean any number of things. They're just recognizing some nonsense is on that happened to this card. But to the buyer, assuming that it is a PMG, that's the value.
That's not what altered means.
Yeah, right. No.
But altered means you took an original and you did something.
You did. No, 100%. That's what Beckett is saying. But the problem is Beckett's saying they did something to a PMG. This was a Jordan base metal painted red. The label was supposed to say base metal altered, not PMG altered. Because altering the base did not make it a PMG. They should have never wrote PMG on the label.
And by the way, for an altered red PMG of Michael Jordan, 30,000 would be cheap, right? Even as altered.
Right, 100%. And so he puts in the bid, he wins the card. After he wins the card, he starts seeing all of the content people create about the fact that the card is fake.
Terrible, yes.
And he starts looking into it and agrees. So anyway, long story short, card gets shipped to him. Or gets authenticated through eBay, right? And that authentication happens at PSA, I believe.
Wow, we have 2 big companies liable now.
Right. So, but the authentication is only to authenticate the slab. It is not to analyze the card. They're actually safe there.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says. The authentication is to guarantee that the slab's not tampered
with. Oh, because they're saying we're authenticating the authenticator.
Yeah, that's it. If the slab's never been opened, they are still giving credence to the job done by whatever the grading company.
They're not regrading.
They're not regrading. They're not going to open it, reinvestigate this thing to make sure everything lines up.
And if you were PSA, CGC, BGS, you would be highly offended if they were. And these people are in bed with one another. So 100%. They're definitely not going to do that.
100%. So the card gets validated, so on and so forth. The payment gets to the seller.
It's validated, yeah.
The slab. The seller gets the payment of $23,000. This gentleman, the buyer, begins to make videos about it. Beckett reaches out and says, we need to see that card. Sends the card, and Beckett says, you're right, we made a mistake. Now, Beckett did not offer to pay this man. eBay said, we're going to give you your $23,000 back. But here's the most interesting part about this. eBay did not take the money back from the seller. Both the seller got paid and the buyer got his $23K back. eBay
took the seller didn't do anything wrong in the sense of, like, we know they did, but in eBay, from eBay's perspective,
right,
based how they judge things, eBay could not say, their legal department said, you can't go get that guy's money.
Yeah, and they asked him. That was the funniest part. They said, "Would you be willing to give us the 23,000 back?" And his response was, "No." That was you authenticated the card. Sorry, that was his response essentially.
And so eBay at that point, man. So, with what you told me, eBay does not feel responsible to me, in the sense of like having to pay that guy. But this goes to show you how much. This shows you like how much money they're making and what they're trying to protect.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm just like, what could eBay have done? What could they have done to prevent that sale? I know you can't hear me, but that's okay. I can hear you. Well, no, I can hear me. What about now?
Okay, you're back, but it's going to die in a second. We got to go anyway. So
We got to go anyway.
Sorry.
But my point is what could eBay have done to prevent that sale?
I mean, it passed their protocol. What were they going to do? You know?
I mean, oh man.
Crazy,
it feels like they were protecting Beckett, but
Beckett, man, dude. At least they agreed that they did. I mean, they didn't say they graded a fake card.
Right.
They said we screwed the label up. That label was supposed to say base altered, not PMG. Sorry. Yeah. And it made it so far as to net someone $23K. Wow.
Let's pray this doesn't entice people to fake cards. So that's terrible. All right, the boys are back. Hashtag the boys are back.
Good luck, everyone.
We're gonna run this pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's a poster for this one. Good luck.
All right, thank you all for being here tonight. Manu, thank you for doing the giveaway, man. You're the best.
Oh, my pleasure, dude. It's been so long. It's been so long.
Who's it gonna be?
Mike. Drought?
Hey, no drought tonight for him.
That's right. So, Mike, if you're still here and you're hearing this, please shoot me a DM. If you're not hearing this, you'll probably get one from me soon. Yeah, maybe hopefully. Not tonight, maybe tonight, but I'm writing your name down.
Yeah, congratulations, Mike. Look, I know we don't have another show planned after this one, but let's do it again soon. I think everyone knows, but if they don't know, I just have a busy schedule with dance now. I'm taking classes and performances 3 times a week on average, and so that just means for me to have time with my family, I can't spend 3 hours on the Marvel show as much.
Right. Justin, can you make me big really quickly? Continue saying that, but I want to tell the people something. I think I've decided on this. So I'm going to give this away on my Instagram page soon. It is a PSA 10 of it. I think this is a Pop 13, Pop 18. I'm not sure. But this is obviously the image from Wizard number 1, but from Wizard number 50, where they homaged it. And this was the promo card in the back of that magazine. And people, are hip to the fact
it's a great card, man.
Card. It's a great card. PSA 10. This is going to be given away sometime soon on my Instagram page. So, come hang out with me there from time to time so I can have fun giving stuff away.
And look, this is not a narrative that anybody needs to run with, but yeah, the 9.9 Newsstand. That's the first TCG Marvel card.
Oh, holy cow, that's true because it promoted the set. So it's before the set.
Yeah, if there's one before that, I don't know it.
Run with. No, I love that narrative. I'm adding it.
It's like if and look, Marvel cards don't matter much in the TCG world, but they might after next year. Anyways, I think you should want to win it. I know I want to. So
I'll figure out the mechanism for it. It'd be something simple. Just have fun with the community and ship the card to someone. But Justin, thank you so much. Yes. And you're right. We don't have something scheduled, but it's going to happen again. I look forward to it. Friends, like old times, thank you for being here. The first 15 or 20 minutes, I was like getting into the groove, and then we got into that groove. So I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. Enjoy your Dragon television show, everyone.
Look, I hope everybody has a great 4th of July week. And for those who are catching the replay, I hope this carries you through a week that typically doesn't have much on TV. So hope you enjoyed it. If you like this kind of content, do me a favor. Make sure you're following Manu on Instagram at the 9.9 Newsstand. I promise you don't want to miss any of his content. It's the best. Also, if you want to see more Marvel card content on the Spidey Hits channel, hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already on the way out the door. If you leave me any comments, I will do my best to get to them soon. But as always, I hope you have a marvelous